Man, I got no. I have absolutely no camera right now. Alright, guys, bear with me here. Total chaos here. I can't switch. Broadcast. Alright. Sorry, guys. I'm all messed up here. Here he goes. Editor. Where's my webcam? Oh, the webcam's not plugged in? That's it. I see no webcam because the webcam is not plugged in. Alright, here we go, guys. Hey. Alright, now let's see if I can actually add it here. Alright, so these are the challenges of working in a place where it is not your place. There's webcam. Logitech Pro. And it doesn't want to work. Alright, if I can't get this up, I might have to shut down for a moment and restart. Sorry, guys. If you're there, the joys of working in someone else's game center is that if someone's on the machine, then you're kind of SOL. So I had to try and get set up, but I'm trying to add. You know what? Let me see if I can just. Gotta put this camera back in, and it doesn't want to add. So let me see if I can do it right now. Video capture device. Add new. G. Sorry, guys, not the way I wanted to get things started, but there he goes. Hey. Done. Move that over. There we go. Alright, we're getting a little closer now. Alright. So, yeah, sorry about that. As I was saying, we got total chaos going here. So, yeah, there's another gentleman, that a paying customer, obviously, that was playing some games on this box. Of all the machines he'd be playing on, he had to play on the one that I actually have everything configured on. So I was frantically trying to get set up on another machine, and then he decided right there, right at the 8 o'clock mark, that he was done. So I feverishly tried to switch back over and had partial success. So I still got to get some stuff set up here. So first off, let's get some music. Twitch friendly streaming music. What's going on, guys? Nothing like adversity. Alright. Music, Twitch. I think Adventure was I listened to on Monday, which seemed like it was pretty good. Alright. So I'm going to push that over to the side here. Alright. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, I think I got everything set up now. Maybe. Let me. Alright, I'm going to have to still get some things fired up here. Got that. Let's see, is that. Yeah, that's almost in the right spot. I'll extend this out. There you go. Move this over. Nothing like trying to set up. Why? Finally. Thank you very little. Yeah, well, okay. You know, I'm at the mercy of gamers, right? You know, can't kick them off the machine, right? So, wait, is that you back there? That better not be you back there. Okay. Okay, so I got pretty much everything back to where I want it. Almost. Bear with me. 1-2 more minutes most here, and I'll get everything set up. Change from Immortal to this. Oh, that's right. Diablo Immortal. Everyone is hating on the game. Yeah, it was funny because I was trying to figure out how I got like a new follow, but then suddenly still had the same like number. It's like, wait, how did that happen? But now I get it. That explains it. Cool. All right, so do that. There you go. All right. So now I got to call you Scribe85. Hey, that actually rolls off the tongue nicely, doesn't it? Scribe85. All right. I could fix the window. You know what? I'm not going to bother fixing the window. This is just total chaos here. Okay. Okay. Scribe85. Let's see. All right. So I did some digging, by the way. Last night I did some digging around into my Unity scene, and it looks like I really broke things a lot more than I thought I did. I was starting to get some funky errors that I have no idea how they're even possible. So, oops, I don't have the music playing yet, do I? There we go. There we go. All is right with the world now. Now we got the music playing. All right, sorry about that, guys. A little hectic, but we're getting situated now. There you go. All right. So, yeah, so I did some digging in the project, which actually I should bring up here. Let me get my desktop. Let me get... Wait, where's my Unity? There it is. All right. And you see I'm representing here. I'm sporting the old Unity shirt today. I actually got an Unreal shirt, too. I think I've worn that before, but I didn't advertise it like this, so... There you go. I'm doing the full Kool-Aid drinking today. All right. So as I was saying, I definitely broke some stuff. What I'll probably do is wait till I get home. Hey, that's cool. Yeah, that was like one of the perks of going to the Unity Unite meeting last month. So there you go. Yeah. So what I'm gonna probably do is actually not try and fix what I broke here now. I think what I'm going to do is actually look at my older build when I get back home. Or I might have an older build on the laptop. I'll check that later. But the point is that trying to fix that on the fly is probably not going to be a good idea at the moment. So, in that case, I will probably just go back to what I've been doing before. Fire up Maya and do some more pose renders. Since we're actually making pretty good headway with it on Monday. So, Scribe85, man, what's going on? How's life in the big New York City? I'm assuming New York City. Did you say New York City or just New York? I guess there's more to New York than just New York City, right? Actually, my wife came from upstate New York, so yes, there's definitely more to New York than just... Yeah, you got it right. Okay. Yeah, the Big Apple. Got it. Doing okay. Cool. You know what? I still got to adjust this. Sorry. Hang tight there 1 second. Got to get everything situated. Queens. Oh, there you go. The same thing. It's less than 30 minutes away from me by train. Yeah, and me being the ignorant fool, I would just kind of like, batch it all together in the same collection. But yeah, Queens. Yeah, actually, once again, my wife, I think she actually had an apartment in Queens a long time ago that she talked about a few times. So, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm still trying to get everything set up. That was interesting, I mean, I get off work, I got enough time to grab a quick bite, and I get over here around 7:15, but then since I had no machine to set up on until literally 8 o'clock, that's why I had the slow start with the starting soon message sitting there for a few minutes. But, and I didn't even get that. I was going to get the pickaxe thing. God, I got so bogged down with trying to get everything configured that I didn't accomplish any things I was trying to get done. I may actually... Ooh, if I pull that out, that's probably going to break my Unity scene. So let me close that. Alright. So, bear with me. We're traveling. Alright. Grab my laptop. Because for days I've been talking about how I have my other file on here, that pickaxe file. And I want to do the dwarf character poses. But I need that one file, and it's on my laptop. There you go. But I just never bothered to move it over to my USB memory stick. So let me do that now. Boom. Alright. There you go. I got one of these. This is so cool, man. I'm sure you guys have seen this, but I love this thing. So this is just standard USB memory stick, right? But you pull off this side, right? And you got one that just it's a USB-C, so it fits into like your Android phone. Excuse me. And I've used that so many times where I've actually transferred stuff over from phone and that kind of stuff. At first you look at it and kind of go, that's gimmicky, but then you start using it. It's like, wait, that's actually very beneficial. All right. So, sorry, this is not exciting stuff, but I got to try and hunt down this stupid file because I keep talking about it for days. Let's see. So go. Let me just, should be able to find this pretty quick. Boom. So, anyways, while I'm digging here, you want to start the movie talk? Start a conversation on that. The PC build. No. That ain't it. Source. Here it is. Okay, images. Search. Go pick. X. There we go. Copy. Alright. Finally, I'm going to get this thing actually loaded up for a change. Let me just put it on the memory stick. Under VV source. Make a new folder. I'll be good about this. New folder. Maybe. There we go. Images almost there. Stay on target. Paste. There it is. Pickaxe color. Woohoo! Finally, I can stop talking about this like I've been doing for days. There it is. There we go. Okay. Yes! I finally have the pickaxe image file, and I've finally gotten it transferred over. Yes, I should have done it yesterday when I was actually working on the laptop from home. I gotta admit, man, I'm looking forward to being home so I can just like have everything in the right place. But that's okay. We'll make do. Actually, wait, tell me something. I don't see the desktop audio bouncing at all. Are you hearing any of the music I'm playing, or did I not configure that correctly? Let me see if I speakers. Let me try that. Done. Nope, that's not doing it. I got some nice music playing, and I don't know if you guys are even hearing it. Done. Still nothing. Properties. Speakers done. There we go. Okay. Tell me if that's a little loud. I'll dial it down. Once again, it's hard to working. Cool. All right. Is my audio and the music balance, is that we're in the right range? It's kind of a strange quirk. I'm using Streamlabs OBS, and it when I restart, when I come back, it drops all the connections. So I have to, like, every time I fire it up, I have to reconnect everything, and sometimes it's just a pain. And I forgot it, but at least this time when I started my stream, at least I had the microphone working from the get-go. So there's one improvement, right? Okay. Whoa, and actually this monitor is like lopsided. I need to, you know what, somebody left some money here, some coins, and I'll use the coins as a makeshift little lift to get this thing set up. That's better. Alright, we're getting closer. Alright, so just to say we're going to start off with this, we're going to go computer, that guy, source, scenes, characters, Middle Ages, dwarf, icon poses, 2. Now it's going to ask for that texture, I'm sure. Oh no, actually it didn't on the Lightwave side, didn't I? Ages, and in layout, yes. Dwarf. Icon poses, export, start with A. Pickaxe color, yes, I finally have a file to give it. How about that? That's an improvement. How many times have I looked at that and just given up on it? Images, pickaxe color. A thing of beauty. Look at that. Okay. Alright, so let me save this and I'll version up. So, move this over so that's not behind me. Okay, good. So let me switch this to DPR. Camera. Yep, now we're gonna be facing the same thing. Now that I'm widening the look and changing the view, and I got the boring leg poses. So all these I'm gonna have to go back into Maya and adjust. Alright, that's rotation. Yeah, I got that. Let me down my, there he goes. And it doesn't remember like my headphone settings. Ah. Okay, that's boring. Caught the ending of the movie Sphere today. Man, I barely remember that one. It was, Dustin Hoffman, was Samuel Jackson in there? Liev Schreiber, right? That was, an interesting book and a terrible movie, if I remember correctly. Normally I say, man, why do you watch the end of a movie? It just completely ruins it. But in this case, that's actually... If you're going to subject yourself to that kind of stupidity, at least it's just the ending, right? Now, once again, granted, I haven't seen it since the theater, so I'm going to be a little short on my details. But I think it was a Crichton novel, wasn't it? I think it was, but I just remember the movie being absolutely terrible. Actually, I might be able to cheat this. That might be enough to get away with. No, I think I still want to actually tweak that. I still gotta fix this. Sorry, I'm still tearing stuff up here. Alright. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I walked into it, my parents were watching it. Yeah. I remember it being really insultingly stupid. But once again, I'd have to go back and refresh my memory, but there's enough of it telling me don't go back and watch it again, so I'll just have to remember it being annoying. Let's see. Yeah, I am gonna modify this pose. Okay, last time I'm just absolutely gonna... Whoa, what did I hit? Move this monitor back one sec. Pulling this thing all the way over like that. Alright. Let's see. To be honest, I didn't watch enough of it to pick up on the stupidity, but Dustin Hoffman looked kind of stupid in it now that you say it. Yeah, he gets in movies sometimes where he just sort of like, he seems very out of place. I think Hot Zone, or Outbreak. Outbreak was another one where I think, but, I'm not going to bash the guy too much because that's literally where my name came from. I was actually, there's true confessions for you. I was actually named after Dustin Hoffman. My dad was a pilot for Delta Airlines, and he had him on a flight about the time I was born, about the time of The Graduate, do the math. And, yeah, so there you go. I was named after Dustin Hoffman. Yeah, definitely named after Dustin Hoffman. Yeah. And nice movie. What, Rayman is a nice movie? I hope you're saying that. Not Outbreak and not Sphere. But yeah, if you're nice movie for Rayman, I totally agree, man. That one's a fantastic film. Oh, The Graduate. Oh, one word for you, plastics. Yeah. So the stupid trivia about that is Dustin Hoffman and Bancroft. Even though it's like the mom next door seducing him, they were literally only, I think, 4 or 6 years apart in age, actually, in reality. So he was actually playing he's much older, playing younger, and she was. So they were actually extremely close in age, but I thought it was kind of funny. But yeah, truly a classic. And the other stupid trivia too, the final scene of the movie. which is sheer genius, and it happened by accident because they just had a camera set up, right? And then so they're there and they're jubilant, they're freaked out, they're happy, they're so happy like that. And the problem is that the director never yells cut, right? So then they finish and they're like happy, and then they just kind of settle down and they're just kind of looking around like, I don't know what to do next. The director's not yelling cut. But instead what you have is sort of like this beautiful moment because they've taken this choice, they've taken this leap, and now they're kind of like this moment of it's starting to sink in on them like, okay, we did it, now what, you know? So I love that. That's such a great ending. You know. All right. Where's my smoothing texture? There he is. But yeah, Graduate, very good movie. Desktop assets. I'm trying to think. Probably that would definitely be in my top 5 Dustin Hoffman movies. I mean, obviously, personal favorite, I guess, just because of the fact that once again, you know, namesake and that movie. So, but Middle Ages. But I mean, he's been in some fantastic movies, and he's been in some epically terrible movies as well. What was Warren Beatty? What was Dustin Hoffman and Warren Beatty? It wasn't Sahara. I'm forgetting the name, but it was like a legendary, god-awful movie. Like, what were they thinking? Oh man, why am I blanking on that? Warren Beatty, Dustin Hoffman, and they're like traveling actors, and there's only like one funny line in the entire movie, and that's like when this camel keeps bumping into him, and Warren Beatty's like, "What's wrong with this camel? Is he blind?" The guy goes, "Yes," which is not really even a funny thing, but that's the funniest moment in the entire movie, which is a bad sign for a movie in general. What do I think of Dick Tracy? I liked it for the most part. I don't know if Madonna should have been in there, but I know that was his girlfriend at the time. You know, I thought the makeup effect, the makeup effects were absolutely fantastic. I liked how stylized it was. I thought he did a fantastic job of creating a very stylized look in a time when that was a lot harder to pull off. Personal connection to it too. A very nice guy named Doug Drexler, who's an old VFX buddy of mine. We first worked together on Battlestar Galactica a million years ago. He actually got to start doing makeup on that show and that film, and they went on to work on like all the Star Trek series. Well, no, I mean from like Next Gen on, but so yeah, so I'm even saying that, even though I had the friend that did makeup on that show, I still say that the makeup effects on that were absolutely fantastic. Once again, that's one I haven't visited in a couple of decades. I'm not sure how kind I would be. I mean, you know, when I was in college, I was much more open to films in general. I know I've gone back and looked at films and kind of thought, what was I thinking when I actually enjoyed it the first time? So, I don't know. I guess I'd have to revisit it. Oh, I got my... There's that pose. Is that the right pose? That's the right pose. Good. Alright, this is what I was looking for. Uh-oh. Why am I not getting rotation? Interesting. That's... Why am I not seeing rotation? That's weird. Object. Show handle. Default. Free rotate. Is it just him, or... Uh-oh. Whoa. Oh, is it... Oh, look at that. For whatever reason... Okay, there's another weird quirk. The rotation sphere was just like 12 million miles wide. Okay. Um, one I have to revisit too. Yeah, I'm always hesitant about doing that. You know, especially ones that I really liked. You know, a bunch of years ago, because I mean, I come back and I just watch it and I go, oh yeah, this is terrible. I was just being way too kind when I thought it was a good movie. Recently, actually, I had one of those. My wife had never seen the movie Sneakers. And speaking of, we were talking about David Statham, a couple nights ago on Monday. Just an amazing cast, right? You know, you got Robert Redford, you got Sidney Poitier, right, doing comedy, Dan Aykroyd. I mean, just insane cast, and I just remember it being like this great, you know, action film. Mary McDonald in there as well, with this beautiful streak of comedy. So I got it so my wife could see it for the first time, and I was really surprised at how over the top the comedy was. I didn't remember it being that almost like bordering on camp almost. Some of the humor was just so over the top. But I mean, still a fun film, but I was actually surprised that it wasn't as sharp as I remembered. I guess maybe for the time frame, you know, I mean, it was what, like, I'm guessing 89 when Sneakers came out. So, you know, but yeah, I won't say that it didn't age well, but I mean, it wasn't as sharp as I remembered. Still entertaining. Still enjoyed it. But that's me. And River Phoenix too. That was like one of his few movies. Which, I mean, he had like 12 lines in the whole movie, which is kind of a strange thing. It's like they realized they had too many old actors in there, and they had to put someone in there younger. All right. Characters, no ages. And this is dwarf character. Become poses. Export. OBJ. There he is. And then I think that's like, did I call that A or B? It's pose A? Okay, I'm gonna version up a O2. The Last Dragon? Really? Okay. Are you just throwing it out there as a question mark or as a statement? I think my wife likes that movie just because there's martial arts, quasi-martial arts in it. But yeah, that's definitely a relic of the 80s. I think that's right up there with, you know, Breakdancing 2, Electric Boogaloo. No, actually, okay, wait. Actually, there's some good music in there, I think. I think there was like an El DeBarge song in there. But it's one of those so bad it's good movies. Yeah. I definitely have some of those too. I mean, there's some that I love that there's absolutely no reason I should. One of my personal favorite relics of the 80s has got to be the full name. The full absolute name is, of course, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. I showed that one to my wife at this point like a decade ago, right? And we finished that movie, and she just looked at me and she went, "That was a very 80s movie." You know, I mean, that was the best thing she could say about Buckaroo Banzai. She was my girlfriend at the time, and I still married her. You know, just to clarify that. All right. So let me switch this back. But yeah, that's W.D. Richter, man. He wrote and directed that one. That one along with Late for Dinner. And I think that was it for him in terms of directing movies. But it's such a quirky movie, man. It's such a bizarre, quirky movie. Where's that going? Wait, did I already? Oh no, I just did this, didn't I? Alright, surface editor. Fix this up. Smoothing. Yeah, there's a lot of, in the 80s, there was a ton of so bad it's good movies. Absolutely, man. Smoothing. Crank that up. Alright, so in this case, pose. Weird Science. Yeah, that's, you know what, and, you know, I mean, I think I've said it before, I absolutely adore John Hughes. I think John Hughes is a complete genius. He had his finger on the pulse of my generation, you know. But Weird Science? Yeah, what was that? Seriously, that was just like, I mean, well, I mean, John Hughes was famous for writing entire screenplays, you know, in a weekend. And I think Weird Science, I think he wrote in the back of a cocktail napkin, you know, in 2 beers, I think, you know. Oh man, yeah, that was definitely. I mean, it's a cult favorite now, but it's probably one of my least favorite John Hughes movies. All right. Oh wait, I need to. And I see no axe. Why is there no axe? Did I? Oh, I didn't export it. Okay, I thought I did. All right, let me get both these guys. Do this again. There he goes. Now that axe should magically appear. There he goes. Cool. There's it. Yeah, I think when I saw Weird Science at the time, I think I kind of liked it just because of the. I mean, it was quasi edgy for the, you know, for an 80s type film, but yeah, there's, I don't know, Bill Paxton, you gotta love him in there. You know, Chet, the brother, Chet, you know, he's kind of funny. Right, got him set. I need to point this to my pickaxe color. I guess it's not that, or is it? Which one is it? Is it this one? Ah, look at that. I finally got a pickaxe and actually have color. Let me smooth that. Hey! Alright. So let's go save current object. And we're going to save this as a Lightwave object so we can bounce over to Modeler and actually flip on the old sub-D. Not Ogre. This is Dwarf. Icon poses, export to this guy, yes. Alright, so I may actually, yeah, see the pickaxe is going to go a little nutty there, so what I'm going to do is actually choose everyone except the pickaxe, invert, sub D, and just leave the pickaxe like that. There he goes. Yeah. Let's see. It's easy to like what everyone likes, though. I used to love digging through crates and mom and pop video stores to find movies nobody ever heard of. Those were the funniest experiences ever to me. Yeah, it's when I worked at Sony ImageWorks. And this would have been what, like 2000, and they had a whole. Once again, this is DVD day, or excuse me, this is VHS days, right? So they had this whole thing where you could rent DVDs, and I think they had Blu-rays. They had DVDs and VHS, right? And it was all under lock and key, right? And it was fascinating that the key was held by the secretary of Ken Ralston, who is, I mean, the head of ImageWorks at the time, right? I mean, a legend of ILM, right? A gentleman that I bumped into a couple of times and had a couple of conversations with, but I'll do that for another time. But so you would have to go up to the Ken Ralston secretary and request a movie, and you'd have to physically sign out the movie, right? And you'd have to bring it back like the next day, and you know, and they had new releases. There were some good movies, right? But they had what we lovingly refer to as the box from hell. They had this little cardboard box, right, that they put the movies in that they just didn't care about. They were so crappy that they didn't bother putting them in the shelves. They just dropped it in the box, and there was a reason why. It was one of those things that you would pull them out and you never heard of the movie. Like you said, you know, you never heard of these movies, but at the time I was working night shift, and there was just not that much to do, so we would frequently bust out the TV and then pop in one of these god-awful movies, and we would time ourselves to find out how far we could make it in the movie before one of us would just throw in the towel, walk over, and just stop and go, I'm done, man. Just turn it off. Turn it off. And the worst thing about it is because they were all terrible, right? They were all god-awful movies. They were like passion projects of actors and that kind of stuff, right? They were really terrible. But then there was one with, it was called Judas Kiss. And it was, oh, what is her name? She produced it. It was the actress that was in the Spy Kids movies, Carla Gugino. Carla Gugino, and it was like a kidnapping caper, right? And it was really intelligently written. It was actually a lot of fun. It's out of print. You can't even find it anymore, which is a shame because it's actually a really fun movie called Judas Kiss. And, I mean, completely out of print, you know, but it was fun, right? And it was a great movie. And it was like, sort of like the gold, the guy that's panning for gold, right? You know, it's just like he's been doing it for forever and he's just about to give up, and he finds this beautiful nugget, and then he just like, oh, okay, now I gotta keep going because there's stuff to be found there. No, that was it, man. We would go back to the box from hell, and we would go there endlessly, and every movie sucked, with the exception of that one. So that was that one movie that was just there just to mess with us, right? And everything else was just total garbage. You know. But yeah, a million years ago. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying. It's fun to like dig out some stuff. My buddy back in Vegas, he really loves those obscure movies. He loves like watching ones that pretty much no one else would normally ever voluntarily watch. You know, one of his personal favorite movies, if not his #1 favorite movie, is Trancers, which was like this really brutal knockoff of the Terminator, right? And with a very young Helen Hunt from like Mad About You and a bunch of other stuff over the years. But obviously they cast this what looks like a 19-year-old Helen Hunt because she had a passing resemblance to, you know, Sarah Connor, right? Linda Hamilton. And it's just, I mean, my buddy loves this movie, The Passion, and I was trying to be kind, but it is so terrible. It is such a brutally bad movie, you know. But he loves it, so, I mean, but, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's, you know, he really gets into those schlock movies, you know, especially in the 80s, but, you know, crazy. But, yeah, I'm not saying go out and find Trancers, and I think they actually made a couple of them too, which is even funnier, you know. But the lead actor, I can't remember his name, but he was known for comedy, I think, mostly, you know. Which, yeah, if you watch that movie, you'd understand why, I think. Alright, so we got renders, Middle Ages, and then look at this, I'm finally doing one for the dwarf character. Hey, check this out, I'm making some progress. Dwarf A. Just label it that way. Alright, and do I have... Oh, you know what? I don't have Unity up, do I? Alright. I was gonna, like, give a quick show and tell for anyone that has not seen this before. Let me jump over to my little thumb drive. And just quick explanation to... Let's see. Oh, no, I don't want the D drive. Let me cancel that. That's bad. I want it to actually pull off local. So, yeah, for anyone that notices that has just tuning in for the first time or just checking this out, you will see that, you know, I either have a really extravagant house or I'm actually in a gaming cafe, and it's the latter. Actually, I live in Vegas, but I do animation work, and I'm currently in LA on my last week. I get to pack up and go home this weekend. Looking forward to that. But on my last week, and so because I'm working all day on animation, I just found this little cafe here in Culver City that I was able to set up and do my little broadcast so I can keep doing it, because I don't want to... I know if you drop off on Twitch for any amount of time, you lose everyone. Not that I have a ton of people watching, but, you know, you guys are cool. I appreciate you guys being here, and I want to make sure you guys stick around. So here I am in a gaming cafe, which is why I'm working off a thumb drive. Let me close this because actually I pulled that off the wrong thing, because I did bring that locally, and I want to do it off of the local drive. Whoa, did you see that flicker? Whoa, look at that. That was an interesting flicker there. Look at that. I think I broke it. Oh, you got a YouTube link here. Okay, check this out. I'm going to move it over in case it's not safe for work. What do we got? Bad Dreams. Man, you and your horror films. You are definitely the 80s horror master, aren't you? Alright, I'm muting it just in case there's something. Wow. Doesn't show anything crazy. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember him. Wow. 1988. Oh jeez. Yes. All right. So, like my buddy, that's the big fan of the '80s shock films. You definitely have a wide knowledge of your obscure horror films. Okay. So, is anyone actually famous in there at all? I'm just I gotta check. I know I've seen him in a ton of things over the years, but. Bad Dreams. Jennifer Rubin. Yeah, that I remember for sure. Jennifer Rubin, Bruce Abbott. Yeah, Richard Lynch. Wow, 2012 he passed away. She's from Nightmare on Elm Street. Dream Warrior. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah. Oh, there you go. He was like the villain in Invasion USA. It's such a terrible movie. Wow. Susan Martin. Yeah. Elizabeth Daily. Oh, is that who I'm thinking of? Yeah. She sang one of the songs from the Breakfast Club soundtrack. Waiting. And she was like someone's sidekick in one of the movies. Let's see if they actually have her credits here. Writer, soundtrack. Oh, she's got lots of soundtracks. So this has been like in the 80s, way back here. There you go. Check it out, man. So, and she's like 4 foot tall. She's a cute little blonde actress from way back when. Oh yeah, there you go. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. There you go. So yeah, the Breakfast Club soundtrack. That's definitely one of my go-to things. I listen to way too much. So I've listened to her a million times. I've not seen Bad Dreams. I gotta be honest, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be putting that one on my list anytime soon. Sorry. I'm sure it's great in its own way, right? You know, it's no Buckaroo Banzai. All right. Mute the audio. Let's see if I can fire this up. At the time, I was trying to find anything similar to Nightmare with some surrealism. Not a horror film, but I'm sure you've probably seen Dreamscape, right? I mean, that was, to me, that was a trippy film at the time, and I think that one actually holds up pretty well. Dennis Quaid, Kate Capshaw, before Steven Spielberg days, and you know, a fun little get in the mind kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, you want surrealism. I think that one definitely has surrealism all over it, you know. But I mean, a nice little blend of sci-fi with a little bit of horror aspect blended in, you know. But the going into the dreams kind of thing was fascinating. I got a funny story about that, but actually I'll save that one for a later date because it's kind of a long-winded story. But it is a very trippy story about Dreamscape. Want to know William Hurt's best performance ever? Altered States. Wow. Yeah. There you go. The Isolation Tank, man. That's a trippy movie. I don't know if I don't know if I'd say that was my favorite William Hurt performance, but yeah. I remember the commercials. I was young enough that I was gonna have a hard time going to see that one in the theater myself, but I was just so obsessed with the trailers for that, the commercial. But that's definitely a trippy film, you know. Another one of those films that starts off, you know, pretty straightforward, but then kind of like goes off the rails and gets trippier as it goes along. Bit of an acid trip like at the end, but Yeah, and then Altered States in that same time frame, he also had Scanners. All the knowledge he was spewing, all the dialogue. It proves he shouldn't just be playing politicians with such little dialogue. Yeah. 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 But I mean, yeah, I mean, well, I mean, you look back at some of the other ones, like Big Chill, Children of a Lesser God. You know, that was a really good performance for him. But oh no, you know what? I'll tell you my favorite, absolutely favorite William Hurt movie, without a doubt, man. Lawrence Kasdan's very first film, Body Heat. It is the most beautiful. I'm surprised you like that movie. LOL. It seems boring to me. It's not. It's not your time frame. It's not my time frame. It's definitely a previous generation. But I liked. You know, as I was talking about before, the director that says that, you know, independent films are just 6 people sitting around a room talking for an hour and a half, and that movie personifies it, you know. And the good trivia for The Big Chill, since we're talking about The Big Chill for a second, do we know who the character is that committed suicide? We only see his wrists. I can watch old flicks, but that one was too dry. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a nostalgia trip. You know, it's a nostalgia trip for what was the baby boomer generation. You know, it's the... I think we all kind of go through that, right? When you hit a certain age and we go, geez, was high school as good as it gets? But, so yeah, the stupid trivia is the buddy that committed suicide, they all come back to celebrate, was actually... Wait for it. Kevin Costner. And, so as a result, Lawrence Kasdan put him in a much better role in Silverado as an apology for cutting him out, because he was actually in scenes and flashback scenes, but he just cut him out just to make it, I think, just to keep it simpler. But and then he put him, like I said, in Silverado, which my opinion is Silverado is by far Kevin Costner's best performance in any film he's ever done. You know, because normally he's this like completely subdued, you know, I mean, lethargic, almost like drugged out kind of character where everything he says is just sort of like laborious, right? But Silverado, man, he is the rambunctious up and starter gunslinger character, right? And he's just, you know, he's all happy with himself, and it's just total different character from anything he's ever played before or since, I think. But oh, so anyways, I'm going back to once again, we're on this Lawrence Kasdan kick. Body Heat is a loving homage to the film noir genre, right? And William Hurt and a very young Kathleen Turner, and such a perfect movie. Richard Crenna, that is a movie that is truly ageless. And even had a little Ted Danson in there too. Dancing Ted Danson. So I highly recommend, if you have not had the pleasure of actually seeing Body Heat, absolutely a fantastic movie. Such a brilliant film. Lawrence Kasdan, that was like the first one he did right out of the blocks, you know. And then he went on, of course, he just, you know, okay, well, we won't talk about the fact that he wrote, you know, Force Awakens, but, you know, he also wrote, you know, Empire. He also wrote, you know, I mean, a ton of movies, as well as the films he's directed. So, but Body Heat, I mean, talk about directors that make like their first film. Sergio Leone and everyone else. When I think of westerns, I go to spaghetti westerns. Sergio Leone. I think Once Upon a Time in the West might be one of the greatest films ever made. You know, I mean, that's definitely my top 5. Such a brilliant film. My wife doesn't care about westerns at all, and I'm not. To be honest, I'm not really a western fan. There's very few westerns that I think that are really good, but Once Upon a Time in the West is absolute perfection. I mean, to have a movie starts off with the first 8 minutes without a single word of dialogue, but perfect suspense, right? You just have that windmill in the background, right? And then you just know something's coming, right? It's just so brilliant, right? And the writing is so amazing in that film. You know, looks like we, what was it? Yeah, it looks like we're one horse shy. No, you brought too many. You know, it's just like, oh, man. Such an amazing cast. If you've never seen Once Upon a Time in the West, absolutely cannot recommend that movie enough. But yeah, Sergio Leone was famous for his spaghetti westerns. You know, the trilogy with Clint Eastwood. You know, Uh, Obviously the first film's based on Akira Kurosawa, Yojimbo, and but yeah, those are fantastic films. That was that was self-taught film school. That was self-taught film school 101. What? That you have to see that movie? Is that what you're saying? That's it, an automatic gimme? Sorry, I gotta get more drinks here. My liquids are running out. Yep. Kurosawa, all that. Yeah. Yeah. Which, yeah, I obviously I love Kurosawa with a passion. That's a given. But yeah. But and actually talk about Yojimbo. I mean, there's been several films that have actually sort of like recreated that whole storyline. Of course, right? Of course, the Fistful of Dollars, right? I mean, that's a direct remake, right? But actually, I really liked it. The Walter Hill movie, Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis, which is a complete loving remake of Yojimbo, and it's it's a fascinating film because it combines the Wild West, but it's like at the turn, right? So you have motor cars and gangsters in a Wild West scenario, right? And it's just such this beautiful mix of genres. And I mean, like the beginning of the movie, you see a car driving by and a horse dead on the side of the road, and it's sort of like the symbolism of the progression of technology, but they're still hanging on to this Wild West mentality. So absolutely, I think it's a super underrated film. I think Walter Hill's made some great films that have never really gotten their due. After high school, I used to have a best friend that came over to watch all the old movies every Friday. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Just stuff you'd rent, or just you had like the local TV would actually play stuff for you that you could watch, which would be nice. I used to have that too. When I was younger, some of the TV stations would actually play all these films, So I definitely got an early education with that kind of stuff as well. Alright, so he's good. We rent and downloaded, depending on the rarity. Yeah. And that's true. I mean, the more obscure the title and the smaller the following, the much harder it gets to find those films. I totally get what you're saying there. Alright. Uh-oh. Why is that the same pose? You see it? Did I muck that up? I might have broken that. Hey Dustin, missed you at the meetup tonight. Yeah, thanks, man. Sorry I wasn't there. But I am still 250 miles away. He's mentioning the fact that they're in Vegas. We have the Indie Game Developer Association, the IGDA, run by my friend Gunnar, who is on the web today on the Indie Game Business Twitch feed, which is actually watching Indie Game Business was what got me started chasing the idea of doing my own Twitch stuff. But yeah, so they had a meeting tonight where they actually had a representative from Valve. That's so cool, man. I'm so sorry I missed that. But hey, I'm here in LA making money. But yeah, I'd love to hear how that turned out. If the Valve guy had lots of interesting conversations. Yep. Alright, I won't out you, I know who this is, but yeah, I think before I left I told you I was doing the freelance stuff, and I'm down to my last week, and then I get to pack up and come home, so I will be back for those meetings again. But yeah, I am really bummed. I would like to have met him and asked him some questions. I think the number one question for a Valve employee is, so when are you going to lower your rates to match? Unreal. which and it's funny because when I first read that, the Unreal has announced they're doing the new pricing scheme. So it's what is it, an 88-12 split for developers, which I think is just awesome. But and my first question is like, uh-oh, does that mean no Unity? But they actually do. They support Unity as well. I was about to mention that. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually very excited about that. I think that what Unreal is doing is a super exciting thing, and I think it's really gonna make Discord and Steam. Yeah, someone asked about. Oh, they did. Actually, someone asked the. Oh, was that an uncomfortable moment of silence, or did he actually have a good answer for that? So we're specifically talking about the IGDA meeting in Las Vegas tonight, which I missed because I'm 250 miles away, but I'll be there back home soon. They actually had a Valve speaker tonight. I'm getting horrible connection on mobile, so I might miss something. Wow, I can't believe it actually works at all. Yeah, I was just asking if so the IGDA in Las Vegas had a Valve representative tonight, and of course the number one question, this guy, I remember last month he'd already planned to come and talk to our group in Vegas, which so bummed I missed it, but you know, of course that conversation got a lot more interesting a couple days ago with Unreal's announcement. They're doing their new split. But all right, so once again, like I said, I do live in Vegas, so I'm all about the betting, right? So now here's the question, the over-under. How long do you think it's going to take before Valve caves? I mean, Valve did the little bit where they did the nod to the most successful games, which I think was a desperate attempt to try and keep some of the bigger titles from going away, right? And it's like, you know, hey, indie makers, as soon as your game makes $10 million, we're going to give you a bigger piece of the pie. To which 99.999% of all the indie gamers go, excuse me? You know, you own the stats. How do you not look at your own stats and go, we ain't making that? You know, 10 million, yeah, I mean, there's not even like an equivalent. I mean, there's drachmas. I don't know. You know, no indie is. I mean, no indie's gonna hit 10 million, right? So I mean, it was obviously a blatant attempt to try and keep the AAA titles from branching off, right? But yeah, now that Unreal's unleashed their Unreal pricing scheme, you like what I did there? You gotta believe that Steam is gonna go ahead and rethink things and just start realizing they're gonna have to cave and adjust their pricing scheme. I hope soon. I really hope soon. Alright, so then how? That's interesting. So apparently I totally botched this and I overwrote something. So, trying to get my little poses going here. So these are the icon poses. Yeah, and I got the same thing with the feet and the boring pose. That's actually not terrible. But I think I might change that. But, let's see. They have to because Steam will slowly lose all that indie dev support if they ignore the competition. No, I agree. I mean, Unreal's going to have a hard time building up the user base that Steam obviously has because, I mean, Steam is Steam. I mean, they are ground zero, right? I mean, I've said myself, I have hundreds of games on Steam myself, but I mean, you got to believe that, you know, Unreal to me seems like a much more viable alternative. You know, I mean, like, because people have made the question of going, well, yeah, but you have EA, you got all the other ones, you know, but yeah, but those are Origin, all those things, but they're developed specifically for their titles, right? You know, specifically their in-house titles. Whereas obviously Unreal is allowing everything, right? So they become what I consider a legitimate competitor, right? I love the Unreal Engine, but not to take over what I use Steam for. Yeah. It'll be, well, I think we have to see what they do, right? I mean, we have to see, number one, if they get a user base, and number two, if they do a better job of curating all the content, right? I mean, that's one of the big issues they have with Steam is just, you know, you can have a fantastic game, but kind of like the Google Play, or like I faced with Google Play and the Apple App Store, is you vanish, man. You disappear in that collection, right? You know, unless you're going to spend some serious cash to just try and get some exposure, you're not going to get any by default. And, I mean, Steam is notorious for that, I think, you know? I mean, that's great if you get the front page, but let's be honest, you're not going to get the front page, you know? I mean, that's all AAA. Or if you happen to be that one breakout indie hit, right? But, you know, once again, I mean, that's the same odds as playing the lottery, you know? Actually, I'm going to modify this guy. Close all of that. Let me open up Dwarf Pose. This is C. Pose C. Yes. Now you can make me look for it every time, aren't you? Source, images, pickaxe. Alright. So, I'm doing the same thing here. I want to go ahead and dial this back so I can switch. Because right now I got the subdivided surface, and you see how it's all like smushed up. I don't like that. So I'm going to leave that without the subdivided surfaces. And that gives me a much better... There he goes. Yep, I get a much better looking axe there. But, yeah, unfortunately I lost Black Soups. He's a buddy of mine who's... Brave Soul. He's actually using... whatchamacallit? I'm blanking on the name. What's the other game engine? Lumberyard. I think he's actually Black Soups is using Lumberyard, and he's actually doing classes. He's teaching classes in it, which I think is just fascinating. You know, it's an interesting game engine, but I don't think he's getting the support it needs to actually have any kind of viable chance against the juggernauts. Yeah. He's actually a really cool guy. I met him. I've seen him in a couple meetings, but I met him. We've been talking more specifically, and he's the one that gave me some great pointers actually on my streaming stuff too. He was doing game streaming a while back, and Black Soups, I'm sorry if I'm talking about you, but you know, hey, you got the terrible mobile connection, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell me to stop, but yeah, he was giving me all kinds of great suggestions and pointers on what not to do, which is basically a lot of the stuff I've been doing. So thank you very much for all the feedback and help, Black Soups. I hope you get a better connection, or at least you get home and you can actually get a proper connection. But yeah, because, man, Black Soups, I hope you come back on, because I'm dying to hear what the conversation was with the Valve guy at the IGDA meeting tonight. I would love to know what he had to say. I mean, my guess is he's going to say, well, it's a market. I don't think he's going to say anything. I mean, what can he see? I don't think he's like a full-on representative, but you gotta believe that Steam is gonna make that adjustment. Otherwise, they're just gonna be in deep trouble if they don't. There he goes. Cool. Alright, now I got the axe so I can do all this stuff properly. PNG 32, so I get the alpha. Renders, Middle Ages. Yeah, this is my dwarf character. And call this C. I think I lost my B pose, but I'm thinking if I come back in here, I'm probably going to be able to just grab the OBJ export. So I don't think I broke it totally. I hope not. Yes. You're just going to do that every time, aren't you? Images, pickaxe. Oh, here we go. I heard bits and pieces of the conversation so far. This is horrible. I might have to catch you at the Unity meetup. The wife spilled apple juice on my laptop. The only rig I had, so I'm benched as a dev. Wow. That's brutal. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, that's terrible. Tell her we're very upset because we're all dying to hear what the, okay, maybe I'll just type it. Okay, here we go, I'm typing. What did the Valve, I can't type, Valve guy say There. So in case I'm getting all butchered in my broadcast there, I'm asking, I'm dying to know what the Valve representative actually had to say. Oh, you know what? Actually, I might be able to. I'm a modeler. Let me see. Might be able to do this. Compose B. Yeah. No, that is the same one. Crud. You mentioned, I mentioned what the Valve guy said. You did? Sorry, I did miss that, didn't I? He's gonna be like, hey, I spent most of your money on turduckens for my family this Christmas. Give us some time to respond. He's in a major tryptophan coma. He's still recovering from the tryptophan coma. So he spoke a lot about the new features on Steam and some that are coming. Yeah, but what about the 1,200-pound elephant that's in the room, right? What about the rates? I mean, I'm sure it's way too soon. I'm sure they can't even say anything yet, but I'm definitely dying to know. All right. Yeah, features are nice, but the important thing. So that's A. That's C. Sure, save. Why not? That's not A, is it? I got my naming all messed up. No, that's right. Okay. Well, that is right. So that's A. Let's see. I wonder if this convo is on YouTube. You mean the actual broadcast of the IGDA meeting? I think the guy that runs it, really nice guy named Gunnar, he is adamant about getting the videos up there. So it will probably be up there sometime soon, but I'm sure it's not up there yet. But probably within the next day, I'm sure he'll probably have it uploaded. But yeah. I mean, I can wait till I get home and ask him in person, but yeah, I'm probably gonna go look on YouTube myself because I'm insanely curious about that. All right, I butchered all this stuff, so let me get this straightened out here. So pose A, pose A2. Okay, and I have pose B. Yeah, so that's what I yep, that's what I butchered. Okay.
Oh, come on!
Pose
Getting your
A.
healthcare company on the phone shouldn't sound like this. With Oscar Healthcare for your business, you talk to a dedicated business concierge when you call or message.
Hi, Mike. How's it going?
Hi, Susan.
All
I
right.
just had a question about our bill.
Okay, let's take a look.
Oscar's
So then I
customer
just
satisfaction is
actually
3 times the industry average. So,
think what I
no
need
long
to
wait times,
do
no runaround,
is
no rage. Get Oscar
rename
Healthcare for your business
that
at
file so I don't get it more
myoscar.com/business.
screwed up than I've already done. So let me fix this real quick. My naming conventions are terrible right now for this stuff, which is my fault. Characters, Middle Ages, dwarf character, icon poses, export. Alright, so 12.5, yeah, this is it. So this actually should be B, not A. B, not A. Alright, I probably just broke it even worse when I was trying to fix, but let me make sure I got that correct. Okay, so that's pose A. So it's a happy pose. B is the... Oh. Yeah. B. Let's see. He tried to combat that question by saying Valve has value other platforms do not. Oh, please, really? Really? And that things like Steam's card that you can buy in, say, a Walmart comes out of the royalty fee and he brought up the current change to the royalty percent, but we all know that wasn't for us. LOL. Seems like a real cool guy, but he was Matrix dodging. He was, yes, percentages. It's all about the cards. It's all about the bonus feature values. Whoa. I know Kung Fu. Yeah, so that's funny. So I don't envy him having to face those questions, because I'm sure that had to be really awkward to sit there and kind of go, no, we're still your better deal. Where else are you gonna find some place that's gonna bury you in a list so far down that you won't even be able to find your own game, much less anyone else finding it? I mean, come on, that's worth 30%. Come on, guys. You could be like mixed in with 12 million other titles that no one ever wanted to play. Sounds like something he pulled out of his ass, and maybe they'll come up with a better response. Yeah. Come on. I mean, where else are you going to be able to take your Unity game and put it on Steam and get savaged by other people that have never even played it just because they know that Unity's attached to it and they want to just bash Unity? Come on, man. That's what we excel at. And that is true. I think actually Unreal is sort of like clamping down on the user response stuff, right? So it's kind of a different mindset, right? So the downside is no, you can't read reviews, but I mean, to be honest, you can go tens of millions of other places. The internet is huge, so you can find other people talking about the game. But it obviously on Steam it gets exploited in both directions, right? You have people that write fake reviews to boost a game up and give it artificial push up, so you have a bad game that actually gets downloaded by more people. Conversely, you have a very good game that someone has, a group of people have some kind of hate against for whatever reason, and they trash it, and it gets suppressed as a result, right? That was a horrible comeback because there are many AAA titles that were created by Unreal Engine. They got to be careful about that kind of boasting. No, I agree. And, how many times have we seen this in the past, right? Where you get so comfortable when you have zero competition that you dismiss everyone that comes up behind you, MySpace, excuse me, that you think that you're completely bulletproof, right? That no one's ever going to touch you and no one's ever going to surpass you, MySpace. And then someone else comes along, Facebook, and blows you out of the water, right? So we could be seeing history repeat itself, right? And then the irony is the fact that Steam, if there is a change, Steam will frantically try and claw back everyone, and then they'll suddenly be, gracious with all their offers. But I mean, it's still way too early. I mean, who knows? I mean, it's one article I was reading that it was Unreal being overly ambitious with the Fortnite success, so they just think that they're on top of the world, but they don't realize that this might be more of a flash in the pan for them. So being overly generous is nice, but that may not help them in the long run. But time will tell. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely open at this point. I'm definitely open to look at once I get the game ready and I want to put it out on desktop. I will definitely be looking at them. And the next question too is, you have to fork over $100, just to get the game on there, right? I mean, there's no details yet for the Unreal store yet, as far as I know. But yeah, competition is a good thing. Alright, so let me see who I actually do have rendered now. Chatting away, getting distracted, and I'm just getting stupid. Renders, Middle Ages, Dwarf characters, so I have A and C. So that's actually pose B, I think. Yeah, that's pose B. So let me rename him. Now I'm going to get everything back in line again. There he goes. This is good. There. Cool. Okay. So that's B. So pose A is actually this happy pose. And then once again, I got the subdivided axe, so I want to fix that. So let me bounce over into Modeler. Close. Pose A. Let's see. Oh, let's see. you got to rip up a Steam shirt or cam and put on an Unreal one when you launch your game. Have the Steam shirt on and you kind of go, you know what? I'm over this, and just pull a shirt off, and I got like the Unreal shirt underneath. I have an Unreal. My buddy Connor Torres, who Connor is all things Unreal, where I am all things Unity. Although, actually, I think I'm more agnostic than he is. But he gave me a Unreal shirt as sort of like a joke thing. But you know, the funny thing is, it's a comfortable shirt, so I wear it all the time. As a matter of fact, I'll see if I got it with me, if I got it clean. I don't know if I've worn it lately, but if I got it, I'll try and bust it out Friday night just to show, you know. But so yeah, so there you go. Sporting the Unity tonight, but I'll wear the Unreal. Like I said, I mean, it's a nice logo and it's a nice comfortable shirt. I think, excuse me, I'm more interested in the quality of the shirt than I am the content of what's on here. And this is actually a nice, comfortable shirt, so it's getting worn. Unity fanboy. Yeah, that's me. I am the Kool-Aid drinker. You know, that's why when someone says, "Okay, look, I have a team of guys that really know what they're doing, and I want to make a game that looks beautiful, like can compete with AAA title. Do I use Unity? No. You use Unreal." Wait. I just totally blew being the fanboy, didn't I? That was crappy fanboyism. But no, that's true. Yeah, you can. Yeah, but then that's the big catch. Do you actually have that team? All right, and I'm gonna have to adjust. See what my camera is here. Oh, 35. Let's go big old fisheye so I can get a nice goofy pose out of this. I'm probably gonna have to go back into Maya for this bad boy because once I got the actually I might pull this off. All right, let me check my other renders so I don't start duplicating everything. Yeah, so there's my current B pose. So I don't want to look at that. Yeah, that's way too much the same. All right, so I got to mix this up. You can make something nice on Unity with that team. You know what? That's becoming much more true. With the new pipeline, you know, with the customizable pipeline. Absolutely, man. But you really need to have some skilled individuals. That was something that I was checking out on my end. The mobile side, right? The mobile pipeline that's coming in the new versions of Unity, but I still think there's quite a long time before that's going to be ready for prime time. It's evolved so much. I remember Unity 2.0. They've come so far. That is so true, man. That is so true. Few missteps along the way. Unet. They do have a tendency to, like, chase certain things sometimes and then sort of, like, walk away from it, you know? Sort of like, I get the feeling like some of the people that used to write the old TV series Lost, I think work for Unity now. It's kind of like, no. The only way to do multiplayer is with Unet. Unet is genius. But it's kind of convoluted and it's bloated and but it's genius. Okay, and then, wait. When we said genius, we meant we're shutting it down. But not for 2 years. So if you're still using it, you can use it. Keep going. You got 2 years before we're going to kill it. And then, but not. This is the new cool thing. So unfortunately, I mean, that's something that I think Unity has a bad tendency to do, of, you know, chasing some things and then walking away. Let's see how far we've come. Yeah. But here's a question. Anyone using EveryPlay? Oh, that's right. Can't do it. They killed it. So. And, I mean, I was actually working on one of my mini projects that I've got on the back burner. Was one that was going to work exclusively off of EveryPlay. And, you know, I'm glad I got back burner because now that they've killed EveryPlay with a vengeance, you know. Actually, I kind of like this pose right here. Guys, I think this, I don't know. The hot is a little hot, but you know what? I may just leave it. I may come back and revisit it later, but just in case I butchered this, I'll version up. So in case there's a huge difference now from 2 to 3. Going from Unity 2 to 3, yeah. But I mean, as you can see here, as you see, I'm still in 5 land. You know, I still haven't made the jump to 2017, much less 2018. Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. That's cool. Actually, lighting here gives it almost like a subsurface scattering look to it, which I don't have, but it's kind of a nice glow. So, I think we're there. I'm just going to save this, F9 it. There he goes. Then we got ourselves a nice happy pose. It's different than the other ones. PG32. It keeps going back to the wrong folder. Renders, Middle Ages. This is a dwarf character, and this would be A. Okay. So let me check this again. Actually, let me knock this back. There it goes. So we got A. Close this out. A, B, and C. There's the salute pose that I have. Right, all the characters do the goofy thumb to the head salute pose, which I hope that's actually not like a legitimate salute anywhere in the world. As far as I know, there's no military or any country or anything that actually has this as a greeting pose or salute. So I think I'm safe. If not, oh well. Too late now. I'm doing it too. Alright, so now I gotta figure out if I have any other poses or I have to do some from scratch. So there's 3. Let's see. Yeah, so there's my angry pose, there's my happy pose, and there's my salute. So, yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm out of poses. I might have to actually do some posing animation stuff here. Uh-oh. Open scene. I gotta be creative. I've been creative all day, man. I've been animating like crazy for 8 hours. I gotta do more. A, B, C. Open. Let me just make sure I don't have any other. Oh, wait. I'm not in Maya. I don't want export. I want open. Did my music stop on me? Oh, I did. Alright, I forgot to loop it again. There he goes. There's our nice little tinkly music. Any questions regarding Half-Life asked? Yeah, I think the question is there any chance my grandchildren will ever play? I mean, here's the thing. Think about this. This is a serious thing. Name the last game that Valve created, like, in-house. And I'm not talking a game that was done elsewhere. They bought it and brought it in. But seriously, name the last game that was originated at Valve. As far as I know, it was Half-Life Day 2. You know, in the orange box. I don't think they've done an original game in, what is that, 12 years? How long ago was Orange Box? I think it was like 12 years ago. But, yeah, I mean, everything else, I mean, Portal, Dota, all that stuff, man, that was all done elsewhere, and they just, you know, bought it and brought it in, you know, and polished it. So, anyways, the point is, I mean, I absolutely love Half-Life, and Half-Life 2, love it with a passion. Team Fortress was just a mod too. I forgot. Yeah, exactly. Team Fortress was just a mod. So, yeah, same thing. But even if it was, you consider that original. That's still the exact same time that was the orange box again. So that's the same time frame. Right before I was about to, as a joke, but shut that down fast. Yeah. The guy has a twisted sense of humor. He'd say, okay, I'm not supposed to do this, but All right, turn off your cameras. Yes, I'm here to confirm that Half-Life 3 is definitely coming. No, no. I'm lying to you guys. Sorry. Yeah, Half-Life 3 will be in production as soon as we lower our rates for indie game developers. Enjoy. Oh man, I'm gonna get blacklisted by Steam. Oh well. They're never gonna find this anyways. They will never know that I'm trashing them. ILT. Really? Oh, wait. Pose 2. Yeah, okay. I actually gotta do some new poses. Oh man, I gotta do some work. I was having fun just getting lazy and taking the work I'd done before, but... Alright, so I gotta think about... So I have... Happy pose, angry pose, salute. Maybe one where he's like... select all these guys. Lock the geo. Select... Whoa! Oh! Whoa! Come back to me. Oh, come on. There it goes. Alright, let me make sure I got these guys keyframed. Man, it's so nice using my old, I love my Logitech, man. My Logitech G13. I'm so bummed that I don't get to use it at Zoic. I have to, like, use the keyboard, and I'm so much slower when I do my animation stuff. I'm so attuned to using this stupid controller now. Good thing this is owned by Amazon. Yes. Amazon. I love Amazon. They are the best. Amazon, yay. Actually, I do like Amazon. I don't like their I have Amazon Prime, of course, like virtually everyone else, but I don't like the way they have their movies and TV stuff set up. It's a pain to find anything. Netflix does that much better. I mean, when you see like a TV show like, you know, Star Trek Next Generation, Season 1, and you scroll down, Season 2, scroll down, Season 3. No, just put it in one. You don't have to, you know, so then you're looking through a list of like 500 things that are the same 4 shows, but just all the seasons list one after the other. And it's like, I get it. You know, you can compress that into just one selection. I think I'm smart enough to actually click on it and choose the season I want. You don't have to pony up every... It's like they got some stupid... They're using Bing or something for their search service or something. Wow, look at that. Amazon and a Microsoft smack at the same time. That was good. Valve would still be crazy profitable, giving us competitive 85-15 or 80-20 royalty split. I agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I don't know how much cash they do have, but I mean, I'd assume they got a mountain of cash, and even with that split, they're not getting as rich, but you gotta believe, you know, I don't know, maybe they'd actually have to produce something for a change. Here's a question. How many of you guys are going off and buying a Steam box? Or I mean, actually, didn't they killed the Valve Steam Link thing too, right? The $100 box that allowed you to stream your PC to another screen or something like that. I read like last week. I think they nuked that from orbit quietly. So they're doing a good job of creating software that hardware that they abandon. But you know, when you get all that money, I guess you could just play around and do whatever you want. I mean, not like anyone else is going to create a better system and, you know, run you out of business. Oops. Okay. Getting a little ahead of myself. I know. There's going to be a long time before Unreal or any other service becomes a legitimate threat. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I was actually kind of bummed when Discord came out and said that, you know, hey, we want to support you guys. We're going to have our own store, and we're going to give you an awesome split of 70-30. Oh, wait, that kind of sounds familiar. That's pretty much what we're dealing with before. And I know their argument is that they have, like, you know, gajillion users, but how many of those users are actual like gamers. You know, I mean, how many of them are just like regular users of just the streaming service? Didn't Valve kill the Steam box? I have heard nothing about it. I think there might be. Let's see. I think there might be a couple of them still out there, because remember, Steambox is kind of like Android, right? They created a format and they had third parties that actually manufactured the boxes. So there may still be one or two companies. Okay, there might be like one company that's still doing it for whatever reason. I think most of them, they abandoned the SteamOS and just sort of like installed Windows on it. But I know the streaming one they had, that $100 streaming one, I know that one just got nuked. At least that's what the story was I read about a week ago. But yeah, I mean, they're lucky for them, they don't have to worry about hardware being their savior, right? And this stupid phone wants to buffer every 3 seconds. Well, this isn't really animation. This is just doing a single pose, so I don't think that really constitutes. Animation implies that there's more than one frame, so I'm just doing some posing stuff. But you know what? You know, it'll be fine, just as long as I don't go like this. All right, now I'm just being a jerk. Sorry. There you go. That'll guarantee some buffering right there. All right. So I want to try and see if I can pump up. So I think I have the ability to really stretch them out. I have these on parent constraints, so I can just really stretch the body like crazy. And that is what I'm going to do, because I want desperately to try and get some kind of like attack pose for this one. Let's see if I can get something interesting here. On Black Friday, the Steam box was like $5. Hey! Act now and you get the Steam box for $5. Shipping, $199. And on that note, they pulled the plug. I think they actually opened it up for Linux. I think you're able to like install Linux on it, but you know, yeah, I don't even know at this point, because it was a while back. I don't even know what kind of hardware those things. I mean, do you think they even like refresh the hardware at all, or is it just like hardware that was, you know, not even state of the art, but was like okay a couple of years ago? You know, at this day and age, it might be. Are you serious? Really? So they were actually selling it for $5? Ouch! Wow. Okay, just as a novelty, I think that's like, you know, you leave it in the box just as a, like, you know, as a obscure collector's item for $5. That's an impulse buy for sure. Wow, that's as funny as it is scary. Oh, you're talking about the Steam Link. Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. Well, even the Steam Link. I don't know if it's, you know, how usable it is. I mean, but it's one of those things that, you know, you never think about, oh, that's something I'm definitely going to need, until you actually have a situation where you would need it, right? Oh, look at that broken geometry. But yeah, that's $5. If I would have seen a Steam Link for $5, I definitely would have just gone, yeah, why not, man? That's an impulse buy for sure. Vertices. All right, I'm gonna see if I can hammer these points into place. So let me go into rigging, which I'm terrible at, but I'll try it anyways. Skin, paint weights, bring up the window, and I'm gonna just try and see if I can hit hammer and see they snap into place like magic. I love that. Man, that is so much better than Lightwave. Gotta give Maya credit for that. Oops, let me lock the geo again. Don't want to select the geo. Just trying to get the fingers in place here. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely would have loved to. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess it's nice if you want to stream it. If you have like a big screen and you want to stream your game onto that off your PC, but it did seem like the Steam box, the streaming Steam box, seemed like a solution in search of a problem kind of scenario. At least that's what I think. All right. So, and if you guys remember, I was talking about before, I did add a little bit of mouth control, but this is really primitive. I mean, if I was hired as an animator on a job and I was like dealing with this kind of rig, I would definitely be going, yeah, you got to fix it now. I can't work with this. But since I'm just doing this one single pose, I'm just gonna live with it. But I mean, it is really cruddy. It's funny, I was doing the same thing when I was at Zoic. I had a couple situations where I was working on a shot that was a throw together kind of thing, and there was models, but they weren't rigged, and they were like, just slap something together. It's like, you really want me to do this? It's like, yeah, just slap it together, and I broke stuff. My rigging stuff, I didn't know the proper way to do it, and I broke stuff. So I was joking. It's like, I'm never gonna get hired as a rigger, which is fine because I wouldn't want to do that full time. Hats off to the guys, man. The ones that there's an old friend of mine named Bradley Mullinex, who he rigged the Cylons in season 2 of Battlestar Galactica, and he also, I think he rigged the Terminator from Sarah Connor Chronicles as well. That was a madman. That guy would be insane in his detail on the rigs. I'm not sure what he's up to these days. I could check in on him. Very cool guy. Incredibly smart, like scary smart kind of stuff. So I can rig a character just kind of good enough, you know. But I mean, it is really ugly. I would never subject any other animator to this setup. But yeah, the one I was doing at Zoic, I didn't even like put controls on there because it was such a quickie throw together, quickie scene that I was just using the joints and I was animating the joints, which is a major no-no. You're never supposed to do that. You know, I mean, it works, but it is the definition of ugly. It's sort of like, you know, you can drive a car with no car body on it. You know, if it's, you know, just an engine and a steering wheel and wheels, you can drive it, but it's still a no-no. You know. Let's see. Alright. This might be coming together. Let's see. And as I've complained about way too many times, I know, but as I mentioned before, because I'm actually animating this in Maya and rendering it in Lightwave, that means I have no proper camera in this setup, which makes posing a bigger challenge because I don't know what the end result is going to be, which, as you've seen before, it ends up doing a lot of back and forth, which is obnoxious. But let's see if I can come down with it. Oh, you know what? Actually, I can drag this head all over the place. I know I'm completely ripping him off his body here, but if the pose looks good, I don't care. See if we can pull it out some. Alright, let's see if I can get this hand up higher, maybe. Yeah. And then I get some penetration here. You can see it's cutting into the belt. I mean, it's something that if it bugs me that much, that's much easier just do a Photoshop paint fix, which I will do once I get back home. Or I could do it on my laptop if I got time tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm not liking this yet. Alright, let me check my other poses, make sure I'm not doing anything too close to what I had before. Oops. It didn't want to bring up the other image. Let me actually close that one. Bring up a new one. Point it back. Source. Images. Move this down. Oops. Renders. Middle Ages dwarf. There it goes. Alright, so we got happy. Kind of hunched over, so that's okay. Good. Okay, I think I could do this one. Let's see. Let's see if I can actually play with this. Maybe. Just really want to push this in a much more extreme way, just to get a more dynamic pose. I mean, I mean, obviously the body's ripped apart and it's technically not right at all, but all that matters is it looks good for that one render. Alright, I'm penetrating there on the disc. Yeah. Let's see. Can I push that any further? Not really. Ah, he just has to have stumpy legs, doesn't he? I mean, it makes a cute, funny, goofy character, but it makes it a pain to get a good pose. Alright. Alright, I think I might try this. Alright, let me just space the fingers out a little bit, get a life in here, because right now it's just the default kind of pose, which is boring. So, work the fingers a little bit. Just give a little separation so it's not all the same. Like that. Maybe take the thumb, space the thumb out a little bit. Maybe bring this guy up a little bit and then bring the rest of the finger down, like so. Yeah, that could be interesting. So let me make sure I got everyone keyed here. And I didn't break. Yep, I didn't break any other poses. Good. Okay. Let me drop it over to Lightwave and give it a render and see if we have anything that is worthwhile. Let's go export selection. All right, and then see. So this is actually going to be pose D. All right.
You could be the
Good,
kind
so
of
we're all
boss who
set
gets a
with
pinball
that.
machine for the office.
Alright. I'm actually going to call
Or a
this
jukebox.
pose D. Keep my naming right. I have found a movie you might
Bring
like.
an animal to work
Oh,
Friday.
what is that? Let's see.
Or you could be the kind of boss that makes sure everyone can see a doctor
What do we got?
when they need to. Oscar provides
Star
affordable,
Crash.
reliable health coverage for your small business here in Los Angeles. So
Hmm.
go to hioscar.com now to get
It almost
you
feels like they're
routine
trying to
coverage.
mimic something. 1979. It's almost like there's some other movie they were trying to, like, reference. I don't know. What was in the 70s? You guys think of any space movies in the 70s? Oh, that's bad. Look at that. Christopher Plummer? Oh, no. They got Christopher Plummer in there. Oh, no. He just needed the paycheck, I'm sure. Poor Christopher Plummer. He's like the go-to villain. Wow. Look at that. That is just so terrible. Looks like they took like a one of those little toy games. Wow, that's like terrible kid bashing. Look at that. It's like they use shiny paint on that. So the thing. Oh, God. Star Crash. Oh, jeez. Look at and no cameras moving. They didn't want to spend the money on a. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so terrible. Now we're doing the Barbarella stuff. Oh, what are you torture me here with this? Look at this. Oh man. We got some stop motion animation. Look at that. Okay, it's redeeming itself a little bit. Oh, come on. It's not a lightsaber. He's fighting cavemen? Take that, LucasArts. It's like we couldn't figure out what genre we wanted to be. So it's like they were making two different movies, and both the movies ran out of budget. So they just said, let's just combine the two. Wow. Where did I get the Unity shirt? I got the Unity shirt at the Unity Unite meeting last month. I was one of the lucky attendees there. Happy to go. So there you go. That's what we got as our thank you for showing up and for sitting through the Star Crash. Oh, New World Pictures, man. New World Pictures is sort of like the the 70s and 80s equivalent of Asylum. They were the king of terrible movies back then, weren't they? Yep. What's up, Z Doctor? You look like a new face. I don't remember you unless you changed your name before. But anyways, welcome. Thank you for coming around. Yeah. Uni Unite. That was a fun thing to go to here in Los Angeles. A couple of us. I'm based in. Uh-oh, did I blank? I blame the Diet Coke. I drank too much. Let's see. Was it like last week? Refresh my memory, man. I'm sorry. I'm getting old and senile. Who am I? Where am I? What am I doing here? Oh, good. See, now you're just playing on my my senility, my gullibility. Oh man, I thought my wife is so gullible. Normally I get her in those kind of things. Normally I don't fall for that. Nice. Yeah, all right. Nice to see you. Hit the road. No, just kidding. Thanks for coming around, man. I appreciate you coming around. I got so I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm trying to do the affiliate thing, right? And at this point, I'm so close. I finally got over that average 3-person threshold. That's done now. Instaban! Gone. No. You ask about the shirt, right? Which means that you might like Unity, so you're cool, right? Because I'm a big Unity Kool-Aid drinker. No, I'm not. No, I'm not at all. So yeah, I've got 35 follows. So that's the only thing that I have left that I have to address before I become a Twitch affiliate. If I can get up to 50, boom, then I don't know, do I get like a free car? If I become an affiliate on Twitch, I'm not sure, do I get a free car or do I get like free air travel for life? Media Man, I need to get the average viewer part then I'll qualify. Yeah? Yeah. You want to trade? Maybe I can trade you a few of the average for a few of your subs, so I can get over that 50 threshold. So close, but nah. I mean, like I said, I honestly don't know what you get with an affiliate. I don't know if you get like bumped at all. I mean, you get like any kind of real change. I don't know. I mean, that's like the video game thing. You see hey, you just need to accomplish these, unlock these achievements, and then you're an affiliate. Great. What do I get? Well, the ability to say you're an affiliate. Okay. So, I have no clue if I get anything out of that. But I want it anyways. That's great. That's, marketing at its best, isn't it? Okay. Let me see what I got. See if I did anything worthwhile here. Punch all this up. Actually, I can do all these at the same time, can't I? There's user brain. Smooth. People get to donate bits to you. Oh, which means even if we're broke, we can watch ads and donate this way. Okay. I wasn't sure where that came in. All right. Well, I mean, it would be nice, right? Obviously, I wouldn't necessarily turn that down, but I'm just more interested in still just trying to, show off the game and hopefully, and they could subscribe. Yeah. Oh, I streamed too much by myself before I got my stuff together. Yeah. And they can become subscribers too, which is like $5 a month. If they have Amazon Prime, they can sub for free too, and you get an emote. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, I guess I could spend more time showing all my animation stuff. Maybe. I mean, I even talked about that a couple years ago when I went to the last time I went to GDC, and they had the Twitch guys, and they were talking about you guys got to get on Twitch, and it took me a couple of years to finally own up to it, but I even ran the idea. It's like I could maybe show some of my game dev stuff, and then I could stop down and then talk about all the professional animation work I do. But I wasn't sure if that would be interesting or not. I mean, I guess it still falls under science and technology, so I guess I could still do it. But I mean, I still got tons of my old stuff that I could show. I mean, if you guys are interested, if you guys want to see old Battlestar Galactica stuff, and some of the things I've worked on, I guess I could show that once I get back home to Vegas. I don't know. Or I could just sit there and talk more movies too. I can always talk movies. Even Star Chaser. Man, I can't believe Christopher Plummer, man. That's so sad. He got relegated to being like the ultimate bad guy villain for all those years. Can't believe I subjected myself to that trailer. You know, it's funny. The funny thing about it, though, is like, I don't remember, but when I was a kid, when Star Chaser came out, I'm sure I saw the trailer, and because I was all about Star Wars, I'm sure as a little kid I wanted to go see that movie anyways, no matter how bad it was. And I was young enough that I might have actually not realized how terrible it was. Let's see. Pickaxe? Nope, that's not the right one. Not sure why I have duplicates of my textures. Pickaxe. Alright, I'm not sure why the pickaxe is not picking up. It's not him. Cancel. That's a tip. That's interesting. Him. Wow. Alright. The pickaxe is driving me nuts. It's gotta be this one? Okay. So him. That's weird. I don't know why it doesn't want to... I'm a Unity dev myself. Hey! New to the scene so far, I'm just streaming myself developing Unity-based Twitch chat bots and occasionally games. I'm better at coding than creating models and textures, though. Yeah, I'm the inverse. I'm an animator by trade, and so the art and animation stuff is my stronger suit. The coding, I've been doing it 8 years, so I'm getting better, but I'm still crappy, and I'm suffering now because I have 3-year-old code in this game that I'm trying to finish, and it's spaghetti code at its worst. Part of it is just ignorance on what I was doing, combined with the game evolving over the time. So the next game, I keep telling myself it's gonna be so much cleaner, but right now it's terrible. Found yourself a programmer. Let's grab the rope and tie him down. Freeze, gopher. Well, that's good because normally in my travels, it seems like most of the time when I hear people, I meet them, they go, well, I don't, so are you a programmer? No, I'm not really a programmer. Oh, so you're an artist? No, but I have an idea for a game. So if you want to make it, I'll share in the profits with you. No, thank you. To dev VR games with him too. Oh yeah, that's cool. You know, and it's definitely one of those things that I should consider, especially the next project, because when I get home, there's a very good chance that I'm going to be taking a job which is going to eat up my daytime hours, and I still want to pursue the games dev stuff, so I might use the job to subsidize hiring some people and actually doing this stuff with other people. Having said that, the animation work I'm doing right now, it sounds like it's going to spill past my time that I'm supposed to be in LA, so I'm probably going to take some of my animation work for the TV shows I'm working on and take them home and work on them. So I got too much paid work and not enough time in the day to get all this stuff done. All right, let me figure out what's going on with this thing. Let me go. I'm going to save him. D. Lightwave object. But that's cool. I mean, I've known some other friends that have paired up. I think the big challenge, though, is once you pair up with another person, then you sort of have to have very, very definitive guidelines in who is deciding what. You know, because I had some friends back in Vegas as a 2-guy team, one programmer, one artist, and I think that sort of like went bad for him over time. You know, but I mean, if you have a clear-cut idea and you guys are on the same page, then yeah, I think that's definitely much more viable. All right, now I'm in Modeler, so now I can get a better sense of why this thing does not want to pick up a texture. Let me go to UV. There it is. how old are you? I ask because I'm 21 and I feel like I'm one of the youngest science and tech streamers. Yep. Yes, we are all old mongrels. I will tell you, I'll make you do homework. This references what I was talking about before. So, my name is Dustin. I was actually named after Dustin Hoffman, specifically because I came out the same year The Graduate did. Or technically right after, but so if you look up when The Graduate came out, heck with it. 50. I'm 50. So there you go. I'm way old. So there you go. But the cool thing is, I may be that old, but I still play games. I still play with making games. So I get the whole young at heart thing going, right? I have the heart of a 20-year-old, which I keep in a jar on this shelf. It's an old joke. I couldn't pass that one up. But I'm youthful. Yeah, it's the crappy webcam. I have it set on, make me look not old. Oh, is that when Graduate came out? Okay. So yeah, I was about 10 months after that. So about 9.5 months after that. So there you go. So not exactly on the same day, but it was like a popular movie, and that's why my parents decided, which I'm appreciative of, because it could have been worse. I could have been born the same year that a very successful Ernest Borgnine movie came out. So Teenager Blur Hack. Yeah. If I click it off, then I basically look like Senator Palpatine. All right. So actually, you know what? Actually, I can just. I should be able to assign him to. Really? This thing just does not want to texture for some reason. I don't know what broke in this thing. Dwarf icon pose. Pick. Axe. Dermatologists hate him. Find out his secret here. Insert non-suspicious. Yeah, Dorian Gray. I have a digital portrait of Dorian Gray. Like one of those commercials. Alright, so now I got surface, I got pickaxe, UV, pickaxe color. There! Why not? That should not have been that hard, but it's fixed now. Oh, but I do want to turn on smoothing for him. Smoothing! There it goes. Now we're good. Alright. That, and the inverse, and then sub D, save, come back in here. Boom! Like magic. He's looking pretty. Alright. Cool. Alright, so now I have lighting set up from the previous pose, and obviously the kicker light is way too heavy. But I actually like the rest of the lighting. By default, it's actually looking okay. I don't know, is he attacking or is he falling? It kind of looks like he's tripping on something and falling forward, doesn't it? Alright, you know what? I think I may actually play with this camera a little bit. See if I can find a better pose. This is what I was talking about before when I was saying I'm animating in my LT without an actual camera. So I don't know if it's going to look good when I move it over. Because right now it's absolutely terrible. As an animator, what do you think of this popular YouTube's vid? It looks like a dog. It looks... Oh, commercial. Sorry. Skip ad. Yeah, I know. It defaults to Edge. This is not my machine, dude. I'm in a gaming cafe. Oh, God. Yeah. It's... Oh, I gotta listen to the dialogue? Oh, sorry. Okay. Alright. I should probably mute this for a second then. Is this gonna get me in trouble? Is he saying terrible things? Alright, can you hear it? Let's see.
Oh, welcome to our party. Hold on, Billy. What is that?
Okay, it's safe. Okay.
Is this a speck of dust on the floor? Oh, and what is this? Are these white socks? You should be wearing black socks.
Oh.
Oh, and what do we have here? Is this dust on your ceiling fan?
What are you subjecting me to?
Oh
How
my
long
god,
is it?
what is
It's a minute
that?
50. I want this minute 50 of my life back already. Oh my god.
This support beam is 89 degrees when it should be 90 degrees.
Oh god. Oh man. This is
This
hard.
is unacceptable. Now you must die. See, Billy, this is why we clean our house and wear black socks before we throw a party. Because your party guests are definitely 100% going to inspect every inch of the house looking for small imperfections. Anyway, let's go
141,000
home now,
views.
Billy.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh man. Alright.
Oh look, a dead body. I must add this to my vlog.
Oh god. Jeez. Alright, that's just painful. Jeez. Alright. Actually I need a timeout, guys. I'm gonna make a quick restroom run. That one's just got me too upset. This is the kind of crap that becomes famous overnight. Yeah, I know! I gotta like make thoughts. I will say what I like to say sometimes when I see something, and I'll say it was in focus. Yeah. Aside from that, that was pretty painful. After a break is okay. No. That's. I'll contemplate, and I'll be right back. Hold that thought. I'll come up with some better feedback. Hold on. I'll be right back. Oh, sorry about that. I could have actually muted the mic there when I went away. Sorry about that. Hope I didn't bang around too much. I was too distracted. I was too disoriented by that that video. There's a better video animation I want your thoughts on. Let me catch up. That was horrible animation. It wasn't even animation. I'm sorry. That's not animation, right? When you just grab a bone and drag it from place to place. Yeah, I mean, as a absurd joke thing, that's cool, but you know, as an actual animation, yeah, no. Yeah, like it's successful. It's amazing for people who have short attention spans. Yeah. I'm afraid to spy even that one, but good quality. Let's see. All right. Yep.
New load tracking litter.
Okay. Yeah, once again, I know it's Edge. Which you guys saw that Microsoft is getting rid of Edge, right? Microsoft is going to go to like
I wouldn't believe what I just found. Come on.
All right.
Wooded village filled with tidy wooded people. Ooh. Hi. Oh, hi. I just was passing by. Hey there, Bob. How is the mortgage? How you forget like your time? People think I'm scary, but I wouldn't hurt a fly. Oops. Oh, no. Oh, no. Sorry. Oh, no. Yeah. Sorry.
It's cute. That's actually very cute. That's very well done. It's simple, right? You know, I mean, because it's I mean, most of the animation is just contained in the body performance, just doing that, right? You know, just going with it. But I mean, it's well animated, you know. I mean, and just the feet are just doing, you know, and the little mouth pieces just doing the basic movement. But even that one, each vid, and no ad blocker. No, I didn't hear about that. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, bouncing things, but yeah, I just read that they're gonna go with a Chrome-ish browser in favor of Edge. So Edge is finally getting blasted. I think it's funny that they're actually getting a Chrome-ish browser. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but last one, Promise, same creator. Oh, same. Wait. Clarify. Same creator as the Dust one, or same creator as the Spider one? If it's the latter, then okay. It had a DNR. Oh, another Lucas. Okay. That's cute. If I was to nitpick, I would like, okay, in all seriousness, if I was to nitpick things I would point out would be like the hand here, how it's doing like a straight ping pong type move, right? It's just doing like this, right? But I mean, and once again, that's nitpick, man. It's pretty. I mean, it's very pretty stuff. I like the motion on the body, you know, and of course the eyes are cute. I mean, that's just little things like that, but I mean, it's pretty, very cute, and I'm sure he has. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm sure he has quite a few views, and I scroll down and it says 4.8 million. So yeah, the last video that I made had 100,000 views, my best one. So, and he has 4.8. So I don't think I'm in any position to give any kind of notes on animation whatsoever. Nice. Well, congrats to him, man. That's you know, you go cute and furry. That's a good way to actually have lots of viewers, I guess. So I guess I should be taking notes on that myself. I should make my guy here cute and furry. Have better success with the game. I guess I do that. One of the islands, my plan is to have different island themes, right? You know, this is the Middle Ages one by default, but I could have one with cute furry animals, right? Why not? I'm sure that would probably be my biggest hit. All right. Nothing could go wrong with cute and furry. Usually. There are ways it can go off the rails, but, you know, yeah, generally speaking, yeah, I totally agree. All right. So, I think I like this pose okay. I mean, I think it looks like he's actually in a run mode, like he's charging forward. Hold my beer. Hold my diet 7-Up. Yeah, oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, nothing go wrong. Yeah. Yeah, nothing could go wrong with that. hold my beer. Yeah, too true. So, yeah, actually I'm liking this pose now. I think this is kind of distinct from the other ones I did before, but I definitely need to tweak the lighting now, especially the kicker. So I'm going to play with that a little bit. See what I can find. Ooh. Can I get... Okay. See where I am here. Alright. See if I drop the kicker like back behind him like that. Oh, you know what? I think this hotspot that I'm seeing here, I don't think that's the kicker. I think that actually might be my key light doing that. So let me go ahead and jump over to my key light. Let's find out, shall we? If I drop that to 0. No? It's not the key light. Did I have my fill? No, it's not him. Mouth light. Oh, I think it's the mouth light because the mouth is not in the right position. Let's see. Oops, let me go to texture solid. No, he's actually in a different spot, so it's not him. Let's see. This is just me, but what if he had some bushy eyebrows where his eyes would be under his helmet? Yeah, I thought about going down that path. I actually did that originally where I had like the brows on there, but because basically none of the characters have eyes, and if I go down that path, I gotta sort of like go back and introduce all of them. I mean, I may limit this whole no eye look to just this medieval age theme. But no, I mean yeah, I get what you're saying. It's a decent argument, but just because I don't want to kind of go back and retread over some of the other characters I did before. Alright, it's not the kicker. Mouth light. Okay. Actually, let me switch back to my camera 6. Okay. So somebody's blowing this out on the side here. It's not the mouth light, which doesn't seem to be doing anything to shoulder left. Really? Fill. Key. Kicker. Oh, it is the kicker. Okay. Wow. I stand corrected. Alright. Now that we found out the culprit, now we can start playing with this. There we go, that's what I wanted. Something like that, just kind of going over the, yeah. Just kind of going over his shoulder a little bit, like that. That's good. Alright, so now I want to play with the key light. See where it is, and blast that. Yeah, that's... Alright, so I think it's probably face on. Yeah. So here's my key light. We're looking through the key light right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get him up on the side, more like this. I don't want him to be front on. You traditionally want your key light to be sort of just at an angle, and then the fill kind of hits the side and fills in. Then I have the ambient, the global illumination coming from that gray sphere around it, which is providing most of the lighting. But I still want to get some added stuff. I think that's actually okay. What I got to figure out is, I had the mouth light on before and it didn't seem like it was doing anything. Alright, I must have put that in the wrong place. So let me switch back to a mode that I can actually see something. Yeah, that's why. Because he's like embedded. There we go. 6. Turn on real time. Render. Yeah, and then we dial that back down to 30. There we go. I think that's it. I just wanted to get some light in there so it wasn't like pitch black. It was funnier in my head. Just give everyone bushy eyebrows. I mean, it's not a right or wrong answer. I mean, I've done that before, right? Where I've had just like, you know, big old eyebrows, you know, to represent what's going on, you know, when it's covered. But I just, you know, in this case, I just don't want to. I think because I'm just sort of like trying to get it out the door. So I don't want to go down that path. You know, but yeah, I mean, obviously there should be eyes somewhere here, but, you know, in this land, his eyes are right here, just out of range. I was just imagining you use the same pair on everyone, including the women, is what I meant. Oh, like Leonard Brezhnev, like the big old, super bushy ones. That would. Well, it's funny because who was it? Someone the other night was saying that when I was posing the female warrior character, after like a minute they went, "Oh wait, that's a girl." So yeah, if I put the angry, scary brows on there, that might even make it more ambiguous. Anyway, I think I'm liking this now. I think this is actually a winner. I think I'm gonna save this, switch it out. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's all blown out because of the OpenGL. Shadows. Yeah, whatever. Just hit F9. Let's go with it. But I think we gotta. Yes. All right. So, in case anyone was curious, fire up my Unity again. So, what I'm doing right now is I'm doing these character poses. Specifically, you have these little badges that you unlock through gameplay, and so these icons, they come up, and everything else I pretty much got knocked out. This is one of the last few things that I have to address, is these unlockable characters, and you choose them, and they have these different poses. Oh, I thought I had that up. This goes renders, Middle Ages. So, like for the female character, there you go. So you have like these different. If you can imagine these posed on top of like a shield or something like that, and represent your choice of character, depending on your mood or your style, right? And these are ones that you just unlock through various gameplay. So it just allows you to personalize your game just a little bit. All the different characters. So that's what I'm working on right now. And just in case, I don't know if any of you guys are checking this out for the first time, I'll give you a quick rundown on the game. And for anyone that's seen this before, I'm sorry for the repetition, but you can just go along for the ride. So, Valley Village, the best way to describe it is sort of like Tower Defense, Angry Birds meets Battleship. It's actually real-time online multiplayer, but I'll show you just a single-player mode. So the objective here is like Angry Birds, right? You drag your finger back to target, and you wait for him to say fire, and you fire. And what you're doing is you're actually aiming for the bouncing buildings, because the bouncing buildings actually reinforce the force field. And ultimately what you're doing is you want to knock out the catapult. So you see that force field goes down once you knock out all the bouncing buildings. And then occasionally these little power-ups will come out, and whoever shoots it scores for 15 seconds. In this case, it is a speed up. So for 15 seconds now, you can see my reload meter, which is on the side here. You see how fast it's actually reloading. And another thing you could do is send out villagers. Now, that's what the computer is doing. You see he's actually sending out the little guys. I'm going to be a jerk. Check this out. I'm going to reset their work. Oh, I missed. Let me do it again. Here he goes. Boom, there he goes. So now they got to start all over again. So you can do that. You can actually rebuild your buildings. But then the trade-off then is the fact that you only have 2 guys left on your catapult. So that means it reloads a lot slower. But in this case, he's not doing anything because the power-up I just hit, that little stop sign symbol, means that they all go to sleep. So now I can actually just finish them off. Or, if you're playing an online game, at this point I would start going for these secondary items, because these secondary items earn you more coins. And the more stuff you destroy, the more coins you win. But I'm just going to be a jerk and finish them off like that, and it's game over. Boom. So, in a nutshell, that's the gist of it. So, you can either play locally as a 1-player game, locally as a 2-player game with, people on the same device playing side by side, which I can show here in a second. Or you can go online and just play against friends or in random matches. Give you a quick look at the 2-player mode. So, here's 2-player. Right, so the exact same thing, just more of a top-down view, and allows people to play side by side. And what's good, the key interesting thing that makes it, I think, the game novel is the fact that it is real time, right? So it's not turn-based, it's not a traditional tower defense type game, right? It's a little more different than that. Oh, and then this one's kind of cool. Check this out. So this is, you saw the green arrow is a speed up power up. You saw the stop sign, which actually puts your opponents to sleep for 15 seconds. And then you have this one, the fog bank. As you'll see, boom, there you go. Now my buildings are covered in fog for 15 seconds. So I can still shoot, but my opponent is now just, you know, they can shoot, but they're just shooting randomly. You know, you have to guess where you're, you know, you can still hit things, but it's, you know, you have no idea what you're actually aiming for until the cloud goes away. So, and that's it. You can also send out the guys as I was showing that, and then once they're actually building, you can tap this and they rebuild faster. You can see the little green symbols going up as they work away. So that's pretty much the game in a nutshell. The final component is you can actually go over here into customize in the editor, and I say this is why I say Angry Birds means Battleship. I say Battleship because you can actually customize the layout and put the buildings wherever you want. You can hit randomize like this and it throws it wherever you want, or you can actually do it one by one manually. If you just have the ideal layout, you can just put it wherever you want, with the exception of the gun tower. That one you have to put in one of these 4 pieces back here, because if you put it too far to the side, you could actually hose yourself and make it that you could not reach targets sometimes. And conversely, if you could put it wherever you want, then the trick would be is like put it towards the front and then put like one of these little guys right behind it. So, you know, the shield would actually block that. So I don't let that happen. So you have to choose one of these 4 in the back. But aside from that, put stuff wherever you want. And once you're done, just hit save like that, and now it's saved. So that's it. You can customize. You can choose which villagers you want. And once again, you start off with just the regular warrior character by default. That's your first character. And then as you play the game, you can over time you unlock the additional characters. And you see that I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan at all of pay-to-win games. So I'm not making one myself. You can see there's a slight difference, you know, in the performance, but I mean it's marginal. It really is super marginal. So it's not one of those things that someone's going to have like the souped up characters and he's going to play twice as fast as you. It doesn't work like that at all. The other thing here is the mascot, and what that does is when you play an online game, you have the match. It starts off with your mascot and their mascot face to face, you know, and just kind of taunting each other, which I think I can actually show in the test mode. Let me come back over here. I have some issues with my online mode. I broke something, which I'll figure out later on. But yeah, so this is sort of like the taunting kind of session, right? So that's it. What about those diamonds? Yeah, oh, okay, good question. So the diamonds come into play, ultimately they'll be used to unlock entire different island themes, right? So I have a whole list of different islands I want to produce over time that'll allow you to do that, but that also allows you to change your launcher, right? So, and as I said, I don't like pay-to-win games. So as you see, this is more of a cosmetic change. You see that it doesn't change the performance of the game. You can start with the default launcher, but you can unlock a Cyclops, right, a Kraken, or a Dragon. But once again, they don't fire faster. They don't fire more accurately. There's no kind of bonus power up. What I do to reward you is I do give you more coins. So if you invest in one of these guys, you actually get more coins, right, when you play with them. So, and that's you unlock them with the diamond gems. So, does that answer your question? I hope. But that's it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's very simple. I mean, there's not a ton of stuff. I don't have any. I mean, there's no super complex research stuff. You know, it's I've had people suggest you ought to have the characters that are upgradable over time, but I just, it's a combination of I don't want to throw off the game balance between players, and I don't want to go down that path of trying to integrate all that stuff. I mean, all the stuff I've done here is already more than I should have done. I mean, it's there's a reason why I've been spending 3 years on this game. Well, also the fact that I've been working a ton of freelance as well over the last couple of years, which has also delayed it. But the freelance work has also subsidized the game development. So it's also, this is you earlier. This is me earlier. Am I going to regret clicking on this link? Please tell me I'm not going to regret clicking. Where's the light source? Yeah, that was me when I was trying to figure out what was going on with my renders. Where's this light coming from? or as my friend in Japan that watches the feed sometimes, I started going to my Marty thing there. As someone has pointed out before, the more tired I get, I've been working all day, right, before I start doing the stream here. And the more tired I get, the more I talk, the more I start going into Marty McFly. Doc! So I'm starting to get into that mode now. Oh, this is heavy. So, sorry about that. So, there you go. I haven't gone full Marty yet, but I'm definitely getting closer to it. Oh, no wonder we're 10:30. Really? Jeez, I didn't realize it's that late already. Okay. So, I normally say that I like to go until 10. So, I'm already past my normal time, but you guys are hanging out with me, so I don't want to, like, quit yet. So, yeah, look at that bright white. And I think this is just because the OpenGL is not displaying it correctly. So, I don't care. I mean, all that matters is that the render looks good. And now here's the question. Did I actually save this? Let me check. I think I did, but let me just idiot check this. No! Wait. This is pose D. I did not save him yet. I'm glad I did check. D. Okay. So he's done. Alright. So I now have 4 poses. I need to do 5 poses. I'm trying to get 5 poses for each of the 5 characters. So there'll just be plenty of things for you guys to choose from. Alright. Hopefully I haven't run out of ideas for this guy. Oh, you know what? Actually, I don't want to... I'm going to go ahead and leave the fingers as they are. So, leave the fingers gripping the axe there. You need to get on your... you need to get on your knees, Morty. Whoa, Rick? Just do it. I said Marty, not Morty. Although I will confess, I don't know if you guys saw there was like a deal with Hulu, 99 cents a month for 1 year. So that was the impulse buy, and I went looking for something to watch. I have no cable at home. I'm blessed with the fact that actually I am a Television Academy member thanks to my early score with Battlestar Galactica a million years ago. So I get screeners every year, so I don't bother having cable. But there are things that slip through the cracks, and Rick and Morty is one of them. Yes, true confessions, I have not watched Rick and Morty until just the past couple weeks since the Hulu deal. So every day at lunch now, I'm actually been watching Rick and Morty. I'm literally like 4 episodes in, but yeah, that's a twisted show. And it's very funny, but very twisted, man. I can't believe that's actually... I mean, I guess it's Adult Swim, so they can do whatever they want at that point. But, yeah. Work with who? Type his name. I didn't hear it. Wait. Oh, no, I am a member of the television, the Television Academy Arts and Sciences. I'm actually a member myself. I got nominated for an Emmy 14 years ago. I worked on, I think I mentioned to you before. I think, yeah, for Battlestar Galactica. I animated the Cylons for the very first episode called 33, which, so my wife and I, we got to go to the Emmys, which is awesome. But then we lost to the pilot episode of Lost. So, you know, that's fine. You know, I got to be a member, and, you know, every year I get this giant stack of DVDs that show up. You know, so I get to catch up on all my TV viewing after 99 cents. You make it sound like you spent 9,900 when you say impulse buy. Yeah, $12 for a year. If that's a threshold for an impulse buy, then I am beyond thrifty, I guess. I'm frugal. No, just cheap, I guess. You've worked on everything for 22 something years. It's hard to remember everything. Yeah, you know, it's been diverse. It's been a good road, and I mean that's part of the reason why I worked on episodic television. It's just because you get to work on so much stuff so fast, you know. So, you know, if you work on movies, you know, you can only work on so many movies over a career because they take forever. But TV shows, man, you're banging that stuff out every week. So, you know. Yeah, as a result, I have lots of different credits over the years just because I've been doing it for so long. and still doing it. You know, once again, I can't talk about the stuff. Sorry to tease, but I promise once the shows I'm working on now come out, I will tell you what I worked on. You know, but it's been fun. All right, so I still got to come up with one last pose for this guy. So I'll go back and let me check one more time. Look at what I've already cranked out, so I don't replicate what I've already done. So dwarf A. Let's see. Oh. Really? I didn't even know that was there. Yeah. So yeah, in case you thought I was lying, 2005. So it's 13 years ago. Yeah. Yep. And 2 nominations for the Visual Effects Society. Also for Battlestar Galactica. But there you go. Yep. I just looking it up. Yeah. There's some stuff on, and I'm really bad about that. I got a lot of friends that are much more diligent. If you go look on IMDb, I'm listed on there as well, but it's a hodgepodge. I'm really bad about like reporting all the stuff that I've worked on over the years. So it's just, I mean, I've been fortunate enough that I've stayed busy with the animation, so it hasn't been more of an issue to sort of like try and keep IMDb up to date. But it's there. That's 20 years worth of stuff on there as well. But yeah, random kind of stuff. It's like I don't know where they got the link on some of them. It's kind of funny. Okay, so I got the salute pose. I got the angry pose. Maybe I should do a. Oh no! So now we have a movie. So now we have a movie start invading our category. Star. Halo 3. Yes. I worked on Halo 3. I was the animation lead, not at Bungie, of course, but at the place I'm at doing my work right now is a company called Zoic Studios. A lot of the stuff, if you look at my IMDb page or if you look at my demo reel, a lot of the stuff I've done has been at Zoic. That's Battlestar Galactica. Battlestar Galactica, Terminator, Sarah Connor Chronicles, Fringe, CSI, Falling Skies, and just all the stuff. A lot of that was at Zoic. That's been my bread and butter over the years. And Halo 3 was also one of those. Halo 3 and Transformers War for Cybertron, I got to work on at Zoic Studios, so not at Bungie. Just making a dumb joke. I guess it ran into a no ref when calling laugh. Yeah, movie stars traditionally are in front of the camera. I'm the nerd that's behind the camera. So that actually, I'm sure I said that joke before, but my joke is character animators are just actors that can't perform in real time. So there you go. You know, if I could hit my mark and deliver my lines better, you know, I would have been in front of the camera. But no, I prefer to stay behind the camera. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4. We all now know that's where the true stars are at. Yeah, the ones that I care about. You know, I mean, personally, I mentioned this not that long ago, so I'm sorry if it's a repeat. But yeah, I'm much more fascinated by directors and visual effects people in particular, right? And I mean, I love the fact that I've got to work with visual effects people that are just like, you know, the people that I've worshipped over the years, you know. So I mean, yeah, that's so cool. But yeah, filmmakers and visual effects people I find much more fascinating than actors or actresses. I have an IMDb, but it's depressing and empty as hell. Yeah. Mine is, I don't know. I haven't looked at mine in years. I don't even want to know. I mean, I'm sure there's some stuff on there, but I don't know what is or isn't. I mean, if you're curious, I think fine. Here you go. Dustin3D.com. There you go. This is an old demo reel, but if you want to see some of the stuff I've worked on over the last umpteen years, you can find a chunk of it there. All right, I gotta think of a decent pose for this one. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's do like a humiliation one. I haven't done that yet. An absolute, like, I can't believe I did this. That's what I'm going to work with. I think that's what I'm going to do. Even if you haven't listed yourself, there are people who probably credit you through IMDb. Gotta get ready to stream myself. Here, a follow for the entertainment. Oh, very cool, man. Hasn't registered yet in the screen because there's all that lag. The link doesn't work for me. Really? There it is. Z-Doctor is following now. Thank you, man. Uh-oh. Did I break something? Uh-oh. Did all my stuff go down? .com. Huh. Alright. Yeah. Okay, there it is. I'll do it that way. Sorry about that. There he goes. Huh. The Dustin 3D should point to it. I have to check into that, figure out if I broke something. But Z-Doctor, thank you so much for the follow, man. That gets me one closer to that big 50 threshold that I'm trying so hard to get, so I can get the coin chip gem things that... What are they called? I'm so bad at this, man. I'm so bad at this. Yeah, so I can become an affiliate, so I can be like a real streamer. Let's see. Alright, so what I want to do is actually really push his stomach. Curse the Phantom Shadow? Wait, oh, wait. Mark's got me listed for Curse of the Phantom Shadow now? Sure you don't know what they're... Sure I don't know what they're called. Yeah, playing innocent. Yeah, Curse of the Phantom Shadow is my friend Mark Ross, who's back in Vegas, which, by the way, next week I will be back home in Vegas. I will be broadcasting from my own hacienda again, which I cannot wait. But, yeah, he's a friend of mine in Vegas that he ambitiously decided to make his own short film, kind of like a Dick Tracy sort of homage. So I helped him out. So, yeah, like you said, I guess other people can contribute to your IMDb page and put stuff on there. So he's been working on it for years, and I mean, it's like a super ambitious project, but he's devoted and he's still plugging away at it. More power to him. Go Mark, man. He will finish it one of these days. Yeah, it's a throwback to that kind of like serial adventure kind of thing, you know, like a radio serial kind of thing. It's cute. It's very cute. Super ambitious for him, and he knows that now. He actually, after all these years, he realizes that he was definitely giving himself a challenge. Alright, maybe I should try this as a facepalm. Something like that, maybe. If I can spread it out a bit, that might work. Gotta get this elbow back in place, but we're gonna find this luck and leverage. Oh wow. Honestly, nowhere. That's actually back when I thought I wanted to be a filmmaker, a director. It's a short film that I directed. It's sort of like my homage to the film noir genre. And I made it. God, when did I do it? Back in '96, I guess. I think that's about right. It's nowhere. It's nowhere publicly. I mean, if you guys are that curious, it's about 12 minutes long. And it's you know, I was talking earlier tonight. I was talking about Body Heat, you know, and it's just, I mean, such an amazing film. You should pop up on YouTube sometime just for kicks. What, the Luck and Leverage short? I don't know. I mean, it was an overly ambitious kind of thing, you know, and it basically has two actors, you know, and it's just. it's you know, for what I was trying to do, it was a nice attempt. But I mean, you know, decades later, I have a much more critical eye. So it's, you know, it's hard. It's hard for me to watch now. But I mean, it's definitely a Body Heat homage. Double Indemnity, you know, if you've ever seen Double Indemnity, is very much in that vein, you know, which has to do with a man and a wife wronged, you know. Before I go, the app I'm working on, yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask about that, and had a working prototype, because I broke it a little, is PokeRaider. Chatters can search for Pokemon and fight and catch them. Catch them unlocks them as avatars on stream. Aren't you worried about copyright infringement on that kind of stuff? That seems like it would be a major target. Or is it like influenced by that and it's different but similar? I'm hoping that's more like that maybe. But I mean, cool idea. The avatars are from streaming avatars, so that's their problem. Oh. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, that's cool. That sounds cool, man. So, catching it, so you're doing like AR kind of stuff with that? Augmented reality kind of thing? Or is it just... it's pixel-based Pokemon. That's cool, man. Yeah, when I wrap up, I'll definitely give it a look. Can you actually go ahead, post a link? There you go. Before I can finish saying, why don't you post it? Oh, hey, I fired up right here. Steam avatars. Check it out. Here you go. Here's some free publicity. Oh, cool. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, this is this kind of stuff. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. It's not public. Poker isn't that. Oh, but it's gotcha. But it's in that kind of style. So you're doing something that integrates with Twitch then, right? With the stream. Gotcha. I played with that myself. I did like a blackjack game, but the lag was so terrible that I've sort of abandoned it. That isn't me. It works with it. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I'm following you now. It works with it. Cool. Yeah, I know they got a contest going on now, right? They're offering like $15,000 for people that make Twitch plugins. Oh crud, what's the term they use for it? I know it's a contest that. Yeah, it's a contest. Twitch. They're not enhancements. Come on, what's the term? I'm sorry, I'm tired at this point. I'm definitely fading. The brain is shutting down. The plugins, they have a contest, and I think $15,000 for the top prize. Yeah, nice try. Not falling for that. Thank you, Scribe85. You know, even if you didn't tell me who you were when you changed your name, I think I would have figured it out with that kind of stuff. Yeah. Nice try. Twitch enhance. Oh crap! What are they called? Come on. Extensions. I was enhancements. Extensions. Extension contest. Announcing that. Here you go. Announcing the Twitch extension challenge powered by AWS. There you go. Posted on November 27th, so it's still new. But like I said, here you go. Cash awards up to $15,000. Tickets to TwitchCon 2019, and even meeting with Twitch leadership to talk through your ideas. So there you go. I would actually pursue it myself for the fact that I already have 2 paid gigs, and I'm still trying to get my stupid game out the door. So I don't think I should devote the time to it. But I mean, it sounds cool. There you go. Grand prize of $15,000. Oh, link to article. Booyah. There you go, man. Give it a look. And if you win, I want, a finder's fee. Or, just I was going to say just a follow. But you already gave me the follow, so you know what? You've already paid me off. So if you win, there you go. You could just say, I paid you. Cool, man. Well, I hope you do it. I mean, that's interesting. You're playing with those, the extensions, so jump in there, man. I think the deadline, yeah, you know what? And that's I'm a terrible businessman. I'm absolutely terrible bad businessman. So no argument there, man. I'm a decent game maker, but a really cruddy businessman. Yeah, I need a business partner that can say, "Why do you keep doing it this way? Are you trying to lose money?" So yeah, so if I go that route, yeah, I would be bad at that too. So I guess I have to stick with just the making games and doing animation and not start going Midnight Cowboy. See, there you go. There's the Dustin Hoffman reference yet again. Hey, Ultrastatic 1 is now following. Ultrastatic, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that. Thanks. Now we're just rambling away, man. Trying to finish up this last pose. I'm sorry, guys. I'm definitely starting to get a little tired here. Got up at 7. I did my animation freelance job all day, and I rushed over here to try and get some more streaming time in here. But appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's very cool. And Z-Doctor, I know that you say you got to jump on your stream here in a minute. So if you're still here, you got to head out. All right. Yeah. Thanks, man. Hopefully you can make it back Friday night, and I'll try and check out your stuff as well, man. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, and thanks for all the chatting. That is very cool. I do really appreciate that. Alright. So, actually, I'm just trying to push this up a little bit, because you can see the mouth is completely cutting into the body underneath, which just means I did a terrible job on the rigging, which, how many times have I said that, right? Nothing new there. You know what? That I could just make that a Photoshop fix. So I think I'll just go ahead and go with what I got here, because this is kind of a fun pose. This is the, oh man, I can't believe how bad I screwed up pose. I had an idea. You should make an animated GIF out of one of your Cylon scenes, then go to Streamlabs and swap the follower animation for that. Well, I could do the, I did it, we were Centurions. Hopefully, I could do these guys. I made an animated short film a million years ago with cartoon versions of my Cylons, which I did sort of like an inside joke, because the Sci-Fi Channel had a contest to make a Battlestar Galactica short film. So I took it upon myself to do this little short film where the Cylons complain about being second-class citizens, how they get treated like garbage, and one of them has sort of like an existential moment where he realizes that they're being mistreated. So yeah, maybe I could, like, make a run cycle with my old Cylon and have that. How long before I'd get in trouble? I'm sure Universal would not be happy about that. Okay, maybe I'll just think about it and not actually do it. Alright, so actually I'm pretty cool with this pose, so let me send him over in a Lightwave to do a quick render. See if I can squeeze that in, and then I will call it a night. So I'm definitely winding down here. For selection, CD, and this will be pose E. Alright, let's bounce over into, rename as E. I doubt you get in trouble. I've seen a lot of worse on here. Plus, you animated that. I did, but it's not exactly my intellectual property, is it? Is that the proverbial, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission? Alright. Whoa. Oh, yeah, that's why. Surface. Let me, boom. Go on VPR. There he goes. Turn on smoothing. Oh, you know what? I exported them and I didn't export them with the axe like an idiot. I forgot to do that. Let me export him again. Export selection. Bring this back. Oops, I keep hitting W. I mean to hit Q. There he goes. Now he has an axe. I can send that back over in Modeler so I can actually fix everything. But I'll turn on the smoothing. Alright, and I'm going to play with the camera here. I think the only thing I'd definitely say not to do is use any sounds from Metallica. Lars comes in your door, knocks on it. He doesn't knock, he just tears it down. I want my money. I want my $2. There you go. There's a 80s relic. Better Off Dead. Alright. So let me go file. Save current object. With John Cusack. That's a very 80s movie. Incredibly 80s movie. We'll have the drummer on here trying to sue Amazon. Yeah, they wouldn't come after me because they want real money, so they go after Amazon. Amazon, I think, definitely has a few bucks tucked away. What do you think? Alright, let me close this out. Oops, sorry about that. Bump the mic. Definitely tired. Alright, so let me grab the pickaxe. And I didn't get everybody. Invert that. Sub D him, and then we gotta fix the pickaxe. So he'll actually render properly. And we'll call that pickaxe. Surface pickaxe. UV mapped. And then pickaxe color. Use texture. Hey, and like magic, he's working. There it is. Oh, oops. Let me turn on smoothing. Save, and let's ping pong back. There we go. Cool. Alright, I don't like the camera pose yet, but that's easy enough to fix. See if we can get good. Alright, I think I want to go up a little bit. I was trying to get like a top-down pose, but I still want to get that little foot in there. Where's my camera? It's at 18. I could go longer lens, but let me see if I can make this work. The lighting is butchered right now. That's kind of distracting me, I think. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having an axe turned a little bit, but you know what? I'll just go with what I got because I'm getting a little too tired to make it better. Okay, let's finish this up, shall we? The kicker light obviously is blowing out like crazy. So let's try and come on this side. What do you say? There you go. And then fill light is nothing. Our key is at 30. But I want the key. I'm going to make the key be on the other side. So right now we're on this side, but I want the key to be over here. Oops. Something like this. Position about there. There. And let's bring the key light to life. We'll start with 30. That's not bad. Yeah, look at it. I almost hid that issue I had with the mouth there. That's actually kind of lucky. Alright, and I definitely want to put that mouth light in there because that mouth is looking really dark. So let me grab... Where's my mouth light? Let me switch back to this mode so I can see where it is. Ugh. In here. Put it back a little bit. About there. Let's see what that gets us. Mouth light. Really? Uh-oh. Why is that? Oh. 50. There it is. Let's see. I wish I got into filmmaking back when I had that college loan money. I'd at least have some produce shorts, and that's what I did too. And it's kind of funny because, I mean, I love film. I'm a big fanatic of it, and that was my thing when college. I started making my own short films, and what I really discovered was I won't say I hated the process, but I really hated the process. It's a long, super long, boring story, which I really won't go into, but I just, I had some unpleasant experiences, and that was the same time that NewTek got Lightwave out, and so I bought Lightwave, and I started playing with that program, and I just had that eureka moment. This is what I've been waiting for, because now I can make animated films where I control everything, and I don't have to deal with other individuals doing stuff that I don't want in my film, because it's me controlling the whole thing, which once again kind of goes back to why I'm making games by myself, I guess, because I'm an idiot. but yeah, so for me, making the short films that I did, and I actually made a feature film that I never released because it was an abomination, and it was for me, it was a great lesson to learn that I was never really going to be comfortable being a filmmaker, not in that capacity, not on a set with those kind of things where your entire day is spending answering 20,000 questions, and that's your entire day. That's not something I was comfortable pursuing. So thankfully, computers, the programs came along, and I got to chase this dream, and I've been doing it for decades now. My first IMDb credit is 2012, was taking the role of director for a few scenes, and I felt like I was babysitting kids. So stressful. Yeah, that really is, man. I mean, that's, depending on the director. I mean, you have like the Lucas types that hide behind the TVs and don't deal with actors at all, and then you have, I think that's why actors make such great directors, is because I think their biggest job is interacting with the actors, right, and getting the best performance out of them. So I think that's why you see so many actors turn directors that do such a fantastic job, because they have that mindset, and they can like relate so much better, But yeah, I don't have the mindset for it, man. I mean, I'm stressed in 12 million different directions when I try to direct, live action stuff. So I don't ever see myself going back into that world. I mean, if I had success, would I do a animated feature film? Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I would love to be the next Brad Bird of the world. But live action feature? No, not going back down that rabbit hole again, man. I'm done with that. This looks good. I think I'm actually I can push in the camera, but you know what? Yeah, I think I will do that. I'm going to push in the camera a little bit, hopefully not change the pose. So I just want them larger in frame, that's all. But I think that's there. I'm going to save so I don't screw anything up. But guys, I think that's it, man. I think I actually managed to bang out one more. I went over 11 o'clock. So that's over 3 hours worth of streaming, minus the 5 minutes it took me to actually, or the 10 minutes it took me to get the ball rolling, since I had all those tech issues trying to get started with the stream. But this is it, man. I think I'm winding down. I'm going to save this because I now have 5 poses for the dwarf. So he is knocked out now. He is totally done, which is fantastic. So save that. Done. So I am going to call it a night. That is going to be it for me, guys. But let me just wrap up here and just say thank you so much for all you guys hanging out. I had a couple more subscribes, and I really appreciate that. Still trying to get to that 50 level. I'm up to probably 37 now, I think. So thank you. Thanks, guys, for coming out and chatting, man. I really appreciate the talk. I love talking movies. Love talking video games. So it's so great having you guys chat away with me. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna be better about this now. Check this out. I'm gonna do my Discord. Discord.com. I think it's scary. I gotta find it. I promised myself I was actually gonna post my links. Scary Robot games, and I totally forgot to do that because I was so distracted in my setup. This is terrible. I'm so unprofessional at this stuff. Open Discord in the browser. Oh, come on. I just want to find my stupid Discord site. It's... Oh, you know what? It's on my Twitch feed, isn't it? That's what I could do. I could pull it up on my Twitch TV. It's on my channel. There you go. There's my using my brain. Copy link address. If I go over here and I hit that, there it is. Okay, well, it's the invite. I think that's close enough, right, guys? I think that does it. So yeah, if you guys, I have Discord fired up on my phone, so I'm reachable on Discord. But you know, I will be back at this. This is Wednesday. Yes, we're at Wednesday. I'm sorry, I'm just getting so blurred. Yeah, so I will be here. I'm still in LA for the rest of the week. I will be here at Blue Screen Gaming since I am on the road doing my freelance work. But I'll be back here Friday night, 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, whatever time that is for you guys. So come on out and join me. And then over the weekend, I pack up and I go home. So next week, I will be broadcasting from home again, which is going to be awesome. I will actually have all my things there in front of me. I will not be missing stuff. But in the meantime, thank you guys for coming and hanging out and chatting with me. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the new new subs, the new follows. Thank you so much. And come back Friday, 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And I will be working away on this some more, talking more movies, talking more games, whatever you guys want. I am open to. So thanks again. You guys have a good night, good day, wherever it is in your part of the world. And I will see you guys on Friday. All right, guys? Take care and adios.